this second day of fall. Absolutely gorgeous weather, 70 degrees. You can see just a few scattered clouds. Marvin Lewis and his Cincinnati Bengals winning last week, beating the Cleveland Browns. Mike Shanahan is in his third season as the coach of the Redskins, longtime Denver Broncos coach. They lost last week in St. Louis in the Dome to the Rams. We had the flip of the coin. Washington won. They defer. Cincinnati will receive. That means that Billy Cundiff will be kicking off for the Skins, the ex-Baltimore Raven kicker. Now here with the Redskins. And they've got Tate at the very back of the end zone, you see there. Brandon Tate, the ex-New England Patriot. And he has speed to burn. The Bengals at 1-1. The Redskins at 1-1. Another sellout here at FedEx Field. And we welcome you to our broadcast today, and away we go. And Tate will bring it out. Getting a block from Presley, and then works his way out to with a 31-yard return to about the 27-yard line, which brings us to the Bengals and their quarterback, Andy Dalton. Career-high quarterback rating last week in the game over Cleveland.
Yeah, he plays great, particularly in the fourth quarter. He's a guy that it's very difficult to rattle him. He will stand in the pocket, wait for his wide receivers to get open, and deliver the ball with great accuracy.
They bring, as you can see, Dalton here to the bottom of your screen. And a wildcat look. And back there is Mohamed Sanu, who will go deep, and he's got Green, and that's going to be all the way. What a way to start things here. They beat D'Angelo Hall. A 73-yard touchdown pass by Mohamed Sanu, a rookie out of Rutgers, who is a wildcat quarterback at time for Rutgers while in college.
Well, take a look at this. Is easy. I mean, you might as well have anyone throw it, but at any point you have to pay attention to A.J. Green. He runs by the safety, runs by the corner. This is just too easy. Something tells me we're going to see a lot of big plays in this ball game today, Kevin.
How about Sanu, and what about A.J. Green getting in back of the secondary? Now we'll try the extra point. Mike Nugent will get it on the hold from the punter, Kevin Huber. And 7-0 Cincinnati. A career-long touchdown reception by Pro Bowl wide receiver A.J. Green from the most unlikely source, rookie receiver Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu, as we told you before, a sometimes wildcat quarterback at Rutgers, but what he really did so well was pass receiving. He set a Big East rookie record in receiving last year at Rutgers, 115 receptions. Didn't even play last week against Cleveland. And their third-round pick begins with a bang with a wide receiver to wide receiver touchdown pass. And here we come. And this is Brandon Banks who brings it out for the Skins. And he's brought down by Scuda. And the gain to the 16, 18-yard return.
Let's go back and take a look at the play, because there's Andy Dalton out here at wide receiver. And so here's D'Angelo Hall. He's on him. And this is A.J. Green in the slot matched up against the safety. He'll just run against DeJuan Gomes and take it deep. This is the matchup advantage the Bengals were expecting to get with this formation. You get A.J. Green one-on-one against a safety, it's like taking candy from a baby. Jay Gruden, the offensive coordinator, designed the play to get the perfect matchup, and they scored touchdowns.
So here they go from the 17. Let's see how the Redskins respond with RG3, the pitch out to Alfred Morris. He gets a great block out there from Columbus, and then is brought down by Pecco. A 14-yard run on first down. He's up to the 27-yard line.
Well, we told you to take a look at Alfred Morris and watch this run off tackle. Even after he gets his helmet knocked off, this is Red Grange-like. Helmet comes off, he's still running, picking up a first down. Look at this. Well, that takes more than guts and guile as he gets a face plant in the turf, picking up a first down.
First and 10 from the 27. The fullback, Darrell Young, who comes in motion out of the backfield. Griffin to Morris. Block right there by Trent Williams. And he gets a block from his wide receiver, Hankerson. And that run takes him up to near the 40, a pickup of 12. Rookie quarterback Robert Griffin III already has been an Offensive Player of the Week in this young season.
Well, he has certainly gotten it done. And you take a look at the offensive line, and Trent Williams is a guy they're taking a look at on the field right now, Kevin.
Williams is down through a block, and Leonard Hankerson, who also threw a block on that run, starts for the injured Pierre Garçon, who misses his second consecutive game for Washington.
And he is a game breaker. Remember, Garçon hasn't played since week 1, but he did put up an 88-yard touchdown catch in that game.
Well, looks like they're looking at the leg of the starting left tackle, Trent Williams. We have an injury timeout, 13:54. The injured player, the starting left tackle for the Redskins being looked at, that's Trent Williams. And taking his place will be Jordan Black, who didn't even play last year. He basically had retired. He was in Houston with Kyle Shanahan. 1st and 10, the ball is lost, and it looks like Griffin has. He's vacuumed it in. And he's diving on it back at the 27. It's a loss of 10 on the play.
Well, Kevin, you know Nate Clemens is starting at strong safety. First time in his entire life he's played this position, but you've got to be able to tackle. Now, this is stop it right here. As a safety, this is called the moment of truth. You've got to be able to tackle in the open field. But it's the first time he's played that position in his entire life of playing football. He misses Alfred Morris, who creates the first down on that play. And now Taylor Mays is back in the game at the safety position.
2nd down and 20. Young with the block. Here comes Atkins. They got to toss it, and it's caught by Davis, who is hit at the 35-yard line. Grabbed by Maualuga. 8-yard pickup on the play.
Well, it's a rollout play to the left. And they hit the receivers well down the field beyond 5 yards to Taylor Mays. It takes away the initial target for RG3, and then he just dumps it off the Davis. He gets wrapped. But they could have thrown a flag on Taylor Mays on that play. He hit the receiver well beyond that 5-yard boundary.
Santana Moss is checked in. 5 in the secondary for the Cincinnati Bengals. 3rd down and 12. Time. With a nice block. Davis again at the 41. He picks up 4. Will be enough for a 1st down. The tackle made by Taylor Mays, who's out of USC. And on their first possession, the Redskins have got to punt the ball.
And sometimes the quarterback just have to take what the defense gave them. And the Bengals did a really good job keeping everything in front of them and then swarming to make the tackle.
Sam Rocket will punt the ball. And back will be Brandon Tate. Takes a wonderful Redskin pass to the line. Beautiful. Covering on the play was Niles Paul. 58-yard punt. So here come the Bengals, who lead on a wide receiver to wide receiver touchdown pass of 73 yards. Well, celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with the NFL. Visit NFL.com/Espanol, official Spanish language home of the NFL, for game highlights, fantasy football, and a first look at your team's Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. We've had a Mohamed Sanu, who is lining up in the Wildcat, to A.J. Green, 73-yard touchdown pass to start things. Subsequent punt by the Redskins. At the 1, Dalton begins at 1st and 10. Then Jarvis Green Ellis meets a pile, hit inside by Rob Jackson. A gain of about 2, and he's up to about the 2.5-yard line. Andy Dalton, a career-high quarterback rating, as we talked about. Andrew Whitworth, worthy of Pro Bowl status, a huge influence on that Bengal offensive line. And Redskin head coach Mike Shanahan said that receiver A.J. Green is as good a receiver as there is. We've already seen it in the NFL. It's 2nd down and 8 from the 3 for Dalton. Intercepted, and that's a touchdown. That is a touchdown, and grabbed by Rob Jackson, who's taking the place of the injured Brian Orakpo.
Very risky throw. Look at it's the pressure on Andy Dalton immediately. Now he thinks he can get it to the outlet to Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, and you can see Jackson just scoops it up and scores a miraculous, unexpected touchdown. It was an interception, pick 6, from the time he caught the football. Since when do you get an interception in the opposing team's end zone?
This is my 28th consecutive year of broadcasting the NFL. I have never seen a game start like this before.
Hold on, buckle up. There's more to come.
This is amazing. Billy Cundiff will try to tie the game at 7 with 11 minutes to play. Jackson taking the place of Arakpo on a deflected ball. Catches it for 6. We're tied at 7. You need to remember that Sav Rocca had the punt with the great bounce that marooned him at the 1. And then a couple plays later, the deflected ball, the pick by Jackson. He's in the end zone, and we're tied at 7.
Wow, some improbable events here at FedEx Field. Brian Arakpo out of this game. You expect maybe the Redskins to limp in, and Dalton under pressure. I don't know what more he could have done with the ball, Kevin, other than just throw it high and out of bounds, but he expected to have his check down running back, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, available on the plate. Jackson just made an incredible play on the ball.
So we are tied at 7. The 1-1 Bengals, the 1-1 Redskins, and the ball blowing off. Let's watch that play once again.
Now take a look at this. Now look, wide open over the field. Look, there's Gresham right there. Maybe he could have thrown it there. And you can see Gresham's talking to his quarterback, Dalton. Hey, I was open. You didn't have to throw it over there. But when you're under pressure, and pressure was in the face of Dalton, he couldn't do anything else with it. I don't know that he ever even saw Gresham on the play.
Came around the right side of that Bengal line, and that's where Andre Smith is. And they got a hold of the quarterback's hand. And so here we go now with another kickoff by the Redskins. And deep back will be Brandon Tate for the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals scored on a 73-yard touchdown pass from the Wildcat. The rookie receiver Sanu, with a little bit of quarterbacking experience in college, throws a 73-yard bomb to A.J. Green. And here comes Tate. Oh, nice tackle there by Lorenzo Alexander. Helped on the play by Keenan Robinson. Only a 14-yard return. Unpredictable plays.
Yeah, unpredictable plays coming up here early in this game. As a Wildcat quarterback, Mohamed Sanu, 73 yards and a touchdown to A.J. Green on the first play of the game. Then Rob Jackson gets the interception in the Bengals end zone off Andy Dalton to tie it up at 7 apiece. So we've seen some big plays in this game by the offense and defense.
Cincinnati starts here from the 18-yard line. First down and 10 with Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis in the backfield.
False start. Number 84 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's Gresham once again.
Yeah, Gresham excited. Felt he was open on that interception play, now wanting to come off the ball. He was clearly releasing off the line of scrimmage to go out for a pass, but he does so before the ball is snapped. Bengals one of the least penalized teams in the NFL.
And the Redskins one of the most. First and 15, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Dijon Gomes gets him, coming from the secondary. And that is a gain of 2, and he's up to the 16-yard line. Well, last week they had all kinds of injuries. Carragher was knocked out for the season, so Jarvis Jenkins will take his place. The biggest blow comes at the linebacker. Arakpo is gone. Rob Jackson, and also some Chris Wilson will split time at that position. Jackson's already had the interception touchdown today. Former Bengal Mediu Williams replaces the injured Brandon Merriweather, who misses a 3rd consecutive game for Washington. It's 2nd down and 12. Whitworth with a block at the left tackle. Gresham in stride. Fletcher makes the tackle. And he's up to the 40, a pickup of 22. It's a first down. We take you to New York and James.
Opening drive success for the Saints.
Yeah, Kevin and Sully didn't waste any time. 83 yards on 6 plays, capped by this Lance Moore 9-yard touchdown pass. 7-3 early New Orleans.
46 consecutive game with a touchdown for Drew Brees, one shy of Johnny Unitas. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
That was a nice stat about Brees.
Oh, absolutely. Drew Brees and the Saints have to get one going if they'll afford to fall to 0-3.
Green Ellis for 2 on first down. Fletcher is right there to bring him down. 3 straight Pro Bowls for London. You take a look at Jarvis Green-Ellis, the ex-New England Patriot who is a free agent, comes to Cincinnati.
Oh, he does a wonderful job of really, I think, excelling on short yardage and goal line plays. He has a nose for the end zone, but when you talk about 579 career touches and has never fumbled in a regular season game in his career.
Hawkins in the slot, 5 in the secondary, 2nd down and 8. Dalton a little bit wide. That time going for Armand Benz. A flag is thrown. Coverage by Josh Wilson, who had a mild concussion out of last week in St. Louis against the Rams.
Well, this is going to be a first down for the Bengals. They're going to say that Wilson had early contact.
Pass interference, number 26 on the defense. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
We're tied at 7 here. Let's take you to our CBS studios in New York.
Christian Ponder still looking good, Coach.
Yeah, he leads the NFL with completion percentage. Opening drive, 6 of 8, capped by this Kyle Rudolph 1-yard touchdown pass. And Minnesota 7-0 over San Francisco.
All right, let's take it back to Kevin and Solly.
Rudolph and Carlson, nice tight ends for that Viking team. Here's a 1st and 10. The scrambling Dalton. Chased by Jenkins, and he finds his receiver in stride. A.J. Green covered by Hall. 14-yard pickup, and put him at the 37-yard line of Washington.
Oh, watch the protection right here. Look at this, because it looks as though they're going to have him sacked, and then Gresham gives it a second effort on the block. That's when Dalton gets outside, creates the completion, but it started with the protection by the tight end, Jermaine Gresham. Bought a little bit more time for Dalton to get the ball to A.J. Green.
Then Jarvis Green-Ellis on 1st and 10. Nice tackle right there by Rob Jackson, a loss of 2, and it's back to the 40-yard line.
Oh, just good penetration by Jackson. The Redskins defense had that one hemmed in from the word go. They stuffed the blocking up front, and then great penetration and gap discipline by the defense. They're going to rotate many guys in, trying to replace Carricker and Rakpo. They've told us, Kevin, they didn't feel like one guy could replace it, but they felt the depth of rotating many guys could get the job done for their defense.
4 wide. Cedric Griffin is the extra defensive back for the Skins. 2nd down and 12. Whitworth with a block. They're going deep for Gresham. And he was fouled that time by not only Cedric Griffin, but he also had D'Angelo Hall in the area too. So now it'll be 3rd and 12.
Oh, you're the Washington Redskins. This is where you want to force Marvin Lewis's offense in a 3rd and long situation. You can see Dalton's just trying to get the ball to the tight end. They feel like they have a matchup with Gresham against either a corner, a safety, or a linebacker.
Defensive coordinator for the Redskins, Jim Haslett, has put in the rookie Richard Crawford as a 6th defensive back. 3rd and 12. They block Wilson. Now he comes back and he gets him. They went right by Gresham. Flag is down. The sack goes back to about the 47-yard line. It's a loss of 7 on the play, and like we said, the flag is tossed. And they went right by Gresham that time, who was slated to block. And a hold on Cincinnati.
Holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. Remains 4th down.
There it goes from the top. Look at Carricker. He splits both the left guard and left tackle as he comes underneath Andrew Whitworth. So he was able to get between Clint Bowling and Whitworth to come in and get the pressure. Coming from the blind side, Dalton never saw him coming.
Kevin Huber to punt. Nice looking look drive there too. A 22-yard pass to Gresham, a 14-yard pass to Green. 7 plays and punt. They'll punt this rugby style on the toe. Banks is back there. 5'7" return man at the 9. 38-yard punt. 73-yard touchdown pass by the Bengals. Interception by the Skins. Tied at 7. Tied at 7 at the 10-yard line after the Cincinnati 7 plays and punt. Jordan Black is still playing the left tackle. In place of the injured Trent Williams. We still have no word on Williams. We'll get that to you when we receive it ourselves. Morris on 1st and 10. Hanson with Atkins. Pro Bowl defensive tackle a season ago. Loss maybe of a half yard on the play. So second down and a long 10. Let's talk about the Bengal defense and begin with the Pro Bowler Atkins on the line. And they welcome back a wonderful rush man in Carlos Dunlap today. We'll see him later on. Ray Mamaluga has been struggling, as has the secondary, which will be without their best cornerback, Leon Hall, out with a back and a hip. He'll be replaced by Adam Jones. Terrence Newman goes to right corner. Nate Clemens plays safety, as Solomon just said, for the first time in his career. Second down and 10. And here comes the rookie, and he's out of Florida Atlantic in a 6th-round pick, Alfred Morris, and a gain of 2 and brought down on the play by Johnson.
And both teams feel good about their offenses in this game, but both teams feel shaky about their pass defense. Remember, the Redskins have given up the most touchdown passes, 6 so far this year, and the Bengals having to move around a lot of pieces in the back end of their defense. Today, they start 4 former first-round picks in their secondary, see if they can hold up against RG3 and company.
Royster in the backfield, 5 in the secondary for Cincinnati, 3rd down and 8. Columbus with the block. Hankerson is defended across the way by Terrence Newman, the 2-time Pro Bowler, and a high pick by Dallas, and it's incomplete. 3 and out. They got to punt the ball.
They know Terrence Newman well. You talked about all the years he played in Dallas, and RG3 is going to challenge him on that play as we take a look at Adam Jones, who's set back to receive the punt. Had a, 81-yard return last week against Cleveland.
For a touchdown. 38-year-old Sav Rocket is back there, and of course getting punts off has been a chore. They've had 2 blocked already this season. And Jones out of West Virginia drilled on the play. Big time hit Wilson after the 44-yard punt. Chris Wilson, who will be involved with Jackson in replacing Orakko at that outside linebacker. Another look at Andy Dalton in a tie game late in the first.
As we return to FedEx Field, Kevin, we're going to tell you, how do you make a franchise quarterback? How about being in the right place at the right time, as Joe Montana was when he landed in San Francisco with Bill Walsh? Consistency with coach and scheme, Manning with Tom Moore for 13 years in Indy, and then tailoring the offense to the talents of the quarterback, as was done in Carolina with Cam Newton, where he set rookie records 1 year ago. And talent, consistency, and good fortune has smiled on both of these 2 young quarterbacks playing in today's game.
Bernard Scott in the backfield gets the pitch right here, chased by Jackson, who brings him down. Back at the 33, loss of 8 on the play. Rob Jackson has got his fingerprints all over this game so far for the Skins.
Oh, you talk about Jackson, but as you go back to Andy Dalton, he got off to one heck of a start, almost lifted the Cincinnati Bengals franchise when Carson Palmer demanded the trade and vacated the spot at the quarterback position on his football team. And all Dalton did is come in, start all 16 games, and take them to the playoffs. And RG3's gotten off to maybe one of the best starts of any quarterback in NFL history, second only to what Cam Newton did 1 year ago.
Scott remains, 5 in the secondary, 2nd down and 18. Dalton again running for his life, needs the 48 of Washington for the first down. He goes head first. He should be close, about a yard shy. Scrambling for 17 on 2nd down and 18. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Watch Andy Dalton. Boy, he doesn't flinch. He is a courageous quarterback. And when you go head first, the defense can light you up, so he really wanted the first down. Gresham comes over, pats him on the back. You really do earn the respect of your teammates when you show that kind of grit and determination. Big 3rd down play here. Marvin Lewis said he wanted to be able to run the defense right up the gut, right up the middle of this Redskins defense.
And Jarvis Greenellis back in the game, 3rd down and 1. And here it goes to Andrew Hawkins, who is chased out of bounds by Gomes and also by the veteran London Fletcher. A burst of 11, a first down to the 38 of Washington.
Well, everybody thought that they were going to run it up the middle, but there is Hawkins, look, going around in. And everyone knows that Jarvis Greenellis is a short yardage goal line back, and so they fake it to him and give it to Hawkins on the end around. And boy, this kid electrifies the crowd every time he touches the football.
He played on a couple of Grey Cup championship teams in the Canadian Football League with Montreal. First down and 10. Almost picked off, incomplete. Fletcher just about lassoed that, which would have been the 20th career interception for him. Had one last week in St. Louis, and a flag is down.
Yeah, you better watch it.
Holding number 62 on the offense. Remains first down.
That's the center who was signed in late August because of Kyle Cook's injury, the veteran Jeff Fain.
Bengals had nothing go right on that play. Fain has the hold, and let's take a look at him right in the middle. Oh, yeah, he's beat right away. Right there. That's holding. London Fletcher nearly stole one from Andy Dalton. Had he intercepted that one, looked like he was going to run a long way and possibly make it to the end zone.
Cornerback Cedric Griffin's got a hamstring. He's the extra defensive back, the third cornerback on this team. Questionable return. 1st and 20 with the penalty back to the 48 of Washington. That's broken up. Hall was right there. Working on Andrew Hawkins, whose brother RGIII Hawkins was a high pick by Cincinnati at one time. 2nd down and 20.
That was just good coverage. He came right out in the hip pocket of Andrew Hawkins over to the left side of your screen. That time protection held up, and you can see 3-step drop. It's just very good coverage by the Redskins secondary, who we talked about it. They've been struggling first couple of weeks. Breeze, week 1, over 300 yards passing against this defense, and Sam Bradford shredded them for 300 more last week.
5 in the Skins secondary, 2nd down and 20. Then Jarvis Greenellis with a block that buys time, and look at, here comes Binns, the rookie, galloping free and into the end zone. A 48-yard catch and run touchdown, and Cincinnati is back on top.
We told you, Kevin, both secondaries have been struggling. He's working against 26 Josh Wilson over on the side. Now watch it. There's just too much separation. Wilson can't even pull his flag. It was just a great route run by Binns, who was wide open on the play. Dalton doesn't hesitate to find him. Look at this. You got to be able to close better than that with a better angle, get him out of bounds, but Binns just does a really good job staying in bounds, racing to the end zone. Big plays so far early in the first quarter in the Bengals passing attack.
Binns was on the practice squad a season ago as a rookie, starts this year. He's already caught 9 passes coming into today. A touchdown reception there, 48 yards. And we've got 2 touchdown passes by the Bengals, one by a rookie wide receiver in the Wildcat. Here's the extra point by Nugent. And one by Andy Dalton of 48 yards to Armand Binns, who played college ball right in Cincinnati.
Take a look at this, Kevin. This is just way too easy. This is an out route to the boundary. And then watch Wilson. He closes with a very poor angle as we go ahead and roll it. He doesn't get close enough to push him out of bounds, doesn't get close enough to tackle him. He dives for him, and you cannot lunge and whiff on that play in the secondary. As Dick LeBeau used to always say, you make mistakes on the back end of the defense. Usually the official is standing in the end zone holding up both arms. Wilson gives up a huge play on the touchdown.
Remember, Wilson was the guy who had the fumble recovery touchdown last week in St. Louis, and we told you before, had the mild concussion, cleared this week after the concussion protocol that is instituted by the NFL starting today, but beaten right there. Nobody knows the game like a quarterback. Don't miss Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, and Steve Berline on NFL Monday Quarterback. That's tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Well, there you see it. Now the Redskins have given up 2 more touchdown passes in this first quarter. They entered the game leading the league, allowing 6 touchdown passes in their first 2 games. They've already given up 2 more in the first quarter today.
Mike Nugent will be kicking off for the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Banks, who was tied for the lead in fumbles last year on returns, is back on a knee. Touchback to the 20. We take you to New York for this scoring update with James.
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew Luck, rookie to rookie here, JB. He's going to find T.Y. Hilton for his 40-yard touchdown pass. That was a nice throw. 7-3, Indianapolis.
So T.Y.'s first name is Eugene. Okay, I guess I have to figure that one out later.
Jr.
All right, T.Y. Back to Kevin and Solly.
Good job. Hey, Luck right there and RG3 right here. First down and 10. Jordan Black still playing the left tackle. They get this out to a very controversial guy, at least here in Washington, an 11-yard catch and run by Josh Morgan. It was his unsportsmanlike penalty late in the game in St. Louis, which caused some problems, and only a 62-yard field goal try. Received death threats during the week. The investigation continues by the league and the Redskins. First down catch and run right there of 11 yards.
Well, those threats certainly not warranted. And Wilson, obviously, he apologized to his teammates during the week, and he's just got to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
First down and 10. Griffin wanting to go deep. The pocket is down, and he goes with it. Michael Johnson, who had a sack last week against Cleveland, comes up with his second. It's a loss of 7. Back to the Redskin 27.
Yeah, Johnson goes upfield. I think Robert Griffin probably could have gotten out of the pocket a little bit. It was play action, wanted to go deep, and watch Johnson spins, comes back, gets into his rush lane, and is able to close the pocket on Griffin, who I think stays in the pocket a little bit too long. But there wasn't any avenue of escaping once Johnson peeled back and got back into his lane.
Trent Williams, we've just received word with the knee injury. Questionable return. Jordan Black continues to take his place. Second down and 14. 4 in the secondary. Oh, and another sack. This time he's devoured, and coming again is Michael Johnson. Second consecutive sack. He goes now for a loss of 5 this time. Back to the 22.
Oh, he's just going to beat Jordan Black around the right end, and Johnson is on a tear.
You better believe it.
The Bengals came into this game, Kevin, having had a sack in 27 consecutive games. It's the longest streak in the NFL. Already 2 in the first quarter, both by Michael Johnson.
Bengals in the nickel. They're going to have to do something by getting some help to Black, who takes the place of the starting left tackle. 3rd and 19. Evan Royster. He finds some blockings. Malaluga brings him down shy of the first down. He's up to the 36. A catch and run of 14, and the Redskins have got a punt again.
Well, the Bengals defense is doing a really good job of preventing the big plays, keeping RG3 in the pocket, forcing them to check it down underneath. And what did they tell us yesterday, Kevin? We all have to run to the ball. Look at all defenders colliding in on the ball. That's how you prevent big plays for the offense.
Here's 38-year-old Sav Rocca. Tate on the 24, and then brought down on the play. Dowdy, Reed Dowdy is the one to get him. A 2-yard return, a 40-yard punt. And so the Bengals will get it back, leading 14-7. 64 seconds to play here in the first quarter in 2 days. You can't miss Dennis Quaid and Michael Chiklis in the world premiere of Vegas. Premiering Tuesday at 10, 9 Central, only on CBS. For Solomon Wilcots, Kevin Harlan. We've had a 73-yard touchdown pass by Mohamed Sanu and the Wildcat to Green. Then a deflected pass by Dalton at the 3, caught by linebacker Rob Jackson, tied it at 7. Here's a 1st and 10 handoff to Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis into the teeth of that defense. And he grinds out 3 up to the 28. And then moments ago, we had a 48-yard touchdown pass, a catch and run by Armand Binns, and a 14-7 lead for Cincinnati.
Oh, and so far, as both coaches take a look at what they need to do offensively, the Bengals offense has been very consistent, been able to move the ball. Of course, on the one possession, there was the turnover by Dalton. But Dalton's done a wonderful job of finding the matchup advantages. Remember, a lot of young receivers for this Bengals offense, but boy, they're talented. I believe they can win the one-on-one matchups.
2nd down and 7. Green is there, hit by Hall and whacked in the play by Ryan Kerrigan. It's a 5-yard catch. He's up to the 34.
Nice throw and catch from Dalton to A.J. Green. You just feel like, their chemistry is continuing to develop in their second year. To take a look at Mike Shanahan, he needs his defense to get some turnovers, shorten the field for his offense. And oh boy, Marvin Lewis got to be pleased with the way his offense has played early on.
Bengals 2 touchdown passes will return to Landover, Maryland after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 47. Look at RG3 and look at some of the scoring in the first quarter. Rakpo, of course, no longer on this defense with the torn pec. 3rd and 2. Here comes Andrew Hawkins. He got by Dijon Gomes, and then he bursts himself out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. Dancing for 5, moving the chains, a 1st down.
Oh, don't you just love Andrew Hawkins, who Marvin Lewis talked about him. Look at the movement, look at the quickness, and then the speed, and what determination. You see, he scored a touchdown last week, his first of his NFL career. He says every play in every practice, when he gets the ball, he takes it to the end zone every single time. Just great work ethic.
1st and 10. And Jarvis Green-Ellis. Hit by Perry Riley. It is a gain of 2, and he's up to the 41-yard line.
And there you see the Bengals still trying to pound away. They believe they can hit some creases in the middle of that Redskins defense, as evident by what Steven Jackson did 1 week ago against the St. Louis Rams. They're going to continue to threaten the middle of that defense. You take a look at Jay Gruden, the offensive coordinator, dialing up plays, but he's using the speed on the perimeter to try to break some big plays also.
2nd down and 8. Dalton to Green. Hit by Crawford. 1st down. He's down to the 47-yard line. He picks up 12. They move the chains, and we go to New York and James Brown.
Dallas capitalizes on a mistake.
Yeah, Sean Lee picks off Josh Freeman. DeMarco Murray, 11 yards out, ties up the score 7-7.
I'm sure Washington fans are watching that one as well. Let's take it back to Kevin and Solly.
Big day so far by Rob Jackson, taking the place of Lee. 1st and 10. And they take it up the middle with Bernard Scott, who has been battling an injury to a hand, a broken right hand. Hasn't played yet except for today. First time this season. It's a gain of 2 near the 45.
You're talking about big days. How about the big day so far for Bengals wide receiver A.J. Green? Already 4 catches, over 100 yards receiving in this game. Mike Shanahan told us, yeah, he considers him to be one of the best wide receivers in this league of top 5 caliber. He said, you can't single cover him. We've got a double covering, but so far I've only seen one guy on it. That's why he's killing the Redskins secondary right now.
Scott remains 2nd down and 8. The block by Smith at the right tackle, providing time. They're looking for Green. The coverage by Hall, and also coming over there, Madieu Williams in the secondary for the Redskins.
Had A.J. Green continued to run, he would have had a big play on this. There was a miscommunication between quarterback and wide receiver. And what do they tell us? They're continuing to work on their chemistry. Take a look at this. Now watch, he loses sight. Now if he keeps running right now, see, he slows down and loses sight of the ball. Had he continued to run, he would have had another big play.
Nickel linebacker Marcus White, who was re-signed this week. Crawford is in the secondary as well. 3rd down and 8. Leonard is at the side of Dalton. And that is caught by Gresham, who's brought down on the play by Perry Riley. A 15-yard catch on 3rd and 8. We'll spot him at the 30.
Boy, they've got so many weapons on this offense. A.J. Green, we've talked about it. We already 4 catches in this game. First play of the game, a 73-yard touchdown as he streaks past the Redskins defense, and he's off to a great start.
Brian Leonard on 1st down, wheeling his way to the 18-yard line.
And now they go no huddle, Kevin. They're going to speed up. Just when we want to talk about A.J. Green, they're getting everyone involved. Dalton is spreading the ball around to so many different receivers. And right now they have this defense of the Redskins back on their heels.
Still 5 in the secondary. 1st down and 10. Armand Binns. Tackled on the play by Josh Wilson. Gain of 6. And they'll put him at the 13.
So we see Jay Gruden having to get the ball. We already seen Binns on a 48-yard touchdown strike. Hawkins is getting the ball. Gresham working the middle of the field. And right now the weapons are coming alive for Cincinnati.
2nd down and 4, Leonard. And he bulldozes down to about the 6 on a gain of 6 and a 1st down, 1st and goal, Cincinnati.
London Fletcher on this defense. He talked about the fact that they've been a little bit undisciplined. They've not played well in terms of being sound in their fundamentals. And right now the Bengals are just running it and throwing it on this drive. 6 run plays, 5 pass plays as they're moving down the field on an 11-play drive so far.
Kedrick Golston is down. Longest tenured Redskin defensive lineman. It looked like he was holding his elbow there just a second. He is right. Yep. 1st and goal at the 6. So they lost Carricker last week. Orakpo was injured. Both gone for the season. Replacements on the line in the linebacking core. Here's another injury, and hopefully not serious for Washington.
But when you talk to them, when we met with them on Friday, they did not seem overly concerned. You know, Arakpo is a guy that's just been so gifted, 3-time Pro Bowler last 3 years since he's come into the National Football League. You lose a player of his caliber, and normally you would be concerned, but they felt like they had great depth with Wilson, with Jackson, who we've seen so far, but you can't keep losing top-line players and think that your level of play is going to continue at a high level.
Scott in the game with Chris Presley in the backfield. First and goal at the 6. Hit by London Fletcher on the running back, Bernard Scott, who picks up a yard. They'll mark him at the 5.
Bernard Scott offers the Bengals a change of pace from Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, but they're hitting in the middle of there, Kevin. That's London Fletcher putting his signature on that tackle.
Drive started back at the 26-yard line of Cincinnati. Big play is a 12-yard pass to Green, 15 yards to Gresham. Leonard running for 12. Second and goal at the 5. Smith with the block, but they come on the other side, and zipping in Perry Riley, who forced a fumble on the first play last week in St. Louis, comes in with a sack, loss of 9 on the play.
But Carricker is up top, and then pressure comes to the face. They're able to pinch the pocket on Andy Dalton. But watch Ben, see, he's open right now. But Dalton had his head coming the other way because he saw the pressure coming right up on him. That's why pressure can save a secondary every single time. You can see the Bengals have allowed 12 sacks, the most in the first 3 games since 2000 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
5 defensive backs, third and goal from the 14. Leonard is in. Gresham to the 5 and belted out of bounds by the rookie out of SMU, Richard Crawford, who had solid coverage last week in the Rams game. Allows 9 right there, and they'll try for 3. The Redskins hold him out of the end zone.
I'm impressed by Gresham. He's just a natural catcher of the ball. For a big tight end, probably one of the more underrated. We talk about Gronkowski, talk about a Jimmy Graham. I think he's of that caliber. The way he catches the ball, they're going to force Nugent to settle for the field goal.
Boy, that sack of the quarterback Dalton by the Skins was absolutely big. You got it. 23-yard field goal try right here by Nugent. And a fake and picked up by Huber, the holder, and down he goes and tackled by Madieu Williams. So we've seen a couple of razzle-dazzle plays by Marvin Lewis's Bengals. One worked on the first play of the game in a Wildcat touchdown pass. A fake field goal here. They come up short. Redskins hold. They'll have the ball when we come back to Washington. Well, we had a loss on downs by Cincinnati on a fake field goal, and the Redskins will take over at their 6th, 1st and 10.
Wait.
Marvin Lewis with a couple of tricky plays to start things off. The tight end Paulson right 2 out there for the Skins. Griffin incomplete, looking for Paulson. You thought he might have been tripped, and a late flag is thrown on the play. Paulson is out of UCLA.
Yeah. That flag came out a little bit late. Paulson had gotten up, started to whine.
Pass interference, number 22 on the defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Take a look at the bottom of the screen. He'll come out of nowhere. Will Paulson working against Manny Lawson right there. In between linebacker there, he's tripped up. And he is tripped up beyond the 5-yard marker. And that's Ray Maulugu who tripped him. You're not allowed to make contact with any receivers once they advance more than 5 yards down the field. So great call by the official.
Jordan Black continues to play at that left tackle for the injured Trent Williams. Probably will the rest of the day. Jumping on the back, Robert Gathers of the quarterback, Robert Griffin III, on a gain of 4 to the 25.
Hasn't been an easy game so far for Robert Griffin III. There you see, looks like Morris knocked the ball out of his hand on that play. Then the pressure begins from Mike Johnson, who gets 2 sacks, getting the jersey dirty for RG3. And what did Marvin Lewis tell us? That they want him to experience some negative plays early in the game. He's been sacked twice, hurried a couple of times, and knocked down 4 times. So he's in a physical football game so far.
Pistol formation, 2nd down and 6. Morris in the backfield. Alford gets the call. Black with the block, Paulson with the block, and that doesn't stop Geno Atkins, who comes through, and no gain on the play. They'll remain at about the 24.
Oh, you love Geno Atkins. He can play. You talked about the Pro Bowl 1 year ago. He told us Hey, right now, Coach Zimmer, our defensive coordinator, told us don't look at the rankings. We'll look at the rankings in November. For now, just run to the ball and get off blocks. You can see 6'1", 300 pounds out of Georgia in his third year. He got off the block, ran to the ball, and made a play, Kevin.
Taylor Mays is the extra defensive back for the Bengals. 3rd down and 7. Oyster in the backfield. Short incomplete. Coming up, Carlos Dunlap. He was pressuring the pocket. He returned to practice this week. He didn't play the first 2 games. Had a right knee sprain. Back in there today and pressuring right here.
Now watch how the pocket just collapses around Robert Griffin. See, and he gets it away, but no way are you going to complete that pass over a 6'6" Carlos Dunlap. I believe the Redskins got to do a better job of rolling out and getting him out of the pocket where he has clear vision down the field.
Wobbly shot up there by Rocca. Pac-Man Jones breaking tackle, staying on his feet, and then brought down by Reed Doughty. Up to the 49-yard line, 9-yard return, 33-yard punt. Bengals on top, 14-7. We're back in Washington with the Cincinnati Bengals getting the ball now in good beginning field position. 49-yard line of the Redskins. New on that defensive line for Washington, Chris Baker. Shuffling with Jarvis Jenkins. 1st and 10. Gomes was rushing. And outside they go with a nice reception made across the way by Armon Binns. Close to a 1st down. 39-yard line. We'll call it a gain of about 9.
Yeah, this is a rollout, and I think you've got to get the quarterback on the move when the protection is breaking down. And Marvin Lewis must feel like his receivers can win all day outside, because I believe they should have taken the field goal on that last possession as opposed to faking it and trying to get the touchdown. You'd be up by 2 scores, but the way this offense is clicking, look at the total offense and the disparity between both offenses today.
Hall had the tackle on that last play and the coverage as well. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis carving his way for a 1st down. It's a gain of 4. We'll put him at the 36, and we'll put you in New York with James Brown.
Christian Ponder getting it done with his leg and the arm.
Now, how about this? 23 yards, runs up the middle, on the rush. Longest run given up by San Francisco this year. The 2nd drive of over 80 yards for touchdowns. Minnesota out in front of San Francisco, 14-3.
Back to Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Ponder, the 2nd-year quarterback out of Florida State.
He continues to grow. He has impressed us since week 1.
1st and 10. Dalton. Binns. Tackled in the play. Hall. Flag is down at the 43. It's a 3-yard gain right now as it stands. Down to the Redskin 33-yard line.
Must be a late flag. It was thrown towards the offensive line.
Number 77, holding on the offense. Remains 1st down.
Andrew Whitworth. And coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest NFL scores and highlights. All coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report from our CBS studios in New York. 1st and 20 now, Solomon.
Whitworth, a 7-year veteran from LSU, penalized on the play, and he's got his hands full today.
Cofield back in the defensive line, 1st and 20. Green Ellis. Hall brings him down from behind about the 41-yard line and a gain of 5.
Well, Bengals now starting to do what they talked about, trying to split this defense in half, think they can crease them up the middle. And as you can begin to run the football, play action pass plays begin to open up for Andy Dalton. Already 140 yards passing in the game. But even bigger plays, as Sanu has a 73-yard pass completion for a touchdown. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis starting to heat it up.
Crawford is in. 2nd down and 15. Dalton looking for Hawkins. Coverage on the play by Perry Riley. 3rd and 15.
Hey, Riley has had excellent coverage. Great route recognition as he closed in early on this throw. Take a look outside, and you can see Benz is in man-to-man coverage, but there's Perry there, working in the slot against Hawkins. Boy, if you're 230 pounds, you're working against a quick Andrew Hawkins to cover like that. That means you're a player.
With Griffin sidelined with a hamstring, Preston Butler is in as the 6th defensive back for the Skins. 3rd and 15. They need the 26. Caught here by Gresham. Gomes got him from behind, a couple yards shy of the first down. The catch and run taken to the 29, picks up 12, but he did get into field goal range, and they'll try for 3, and the Redskins again stop the drive.
Oh, something tells me they will kick this one as they bring the kicker out on this play. But how about Gresham? He was able to make several defenders miss and nearly picked up the first down.
Gresham was a Pro Bowler a season ago with a terrific 56 reception season. Here is Nugent trying a 47-yard field goal. Huber to hold. Very little breeze inside the stadium today. From 47, the Bengals annex their lead to 17-7. We're in the second quarter, a 47-yarder. Nugent just drilled one from 47 yards. We've also had a 48-yard catch and run touchdown by Binns from Dalton. We had a 73-yard touchdown pass from the Wildcat rookie receiving quarterback Mohamed Sanu to A.J. Green. That's how the game started. And then after a good rocket punt that buried the Bengals inside their 5, Rob Jackson picked off a deflected pass of Dalton in the end zone for a TD. That will be left in the end zone right there by Brandon Banks. So Robert Griffin III comes back out there from his 20 when we return, trailing 17-7 in his home debut. Good news for the Redskins. Trent Williams is back in there at the left tackle after being injured earlier on. Here's a first down and 10 after the touchback on the kickoff. And Alfred Morris, the all-time leading rusher at Florida Atlantic, brought down on the play by Pecco, gain of 2.
Well, you talk to everyone here with the Washington Redskins. They said that RG3 is just as advertised, completing 70% of his passes to begin his career in the first 2 games. He has a knack of finding the end zone, whether he's throwing or running the football, Kevin. And then his ability to complete passes down the field with great accuracy, averaging huge chunks per every completion. That has made him a star in the early going of his career with the Washington Redskins.
Evan Still is on the line, as is, you can see the great play by Dunlap. It's loose and looked like Morris vacuums it in on the pitch back at the 12, and a loss on the play of 11. And the Bengals are saying they've got it.
It's a pitch, so that would constitute a fumble. This was not a forward pass.
And the Bengals have it.
Absolutely.
Carlos Dunlap breaks it up, coming back, playing the first time this season today. He'd been out since early in the preseason with a knee.
And they said they had to be disciplined playing the option. You're the end man of the line of scrimmage. You have the quarterback, and that's exactly what Carlos Dunlap does. And look, RG3 tried to pin him down to the ground. Nice play right there. He gets the ball on the pitch. And then you can see RG3 grabs the face mask of Carlos Dunlap, trying to prevent him from getting up to get the ball and recover the fumble. It's a great play by the defensive end, Carlos Dunlap.
So Dalton and the Bengals begin at the 12 of the Redskins with a 1st and 10. Green Ellis in the backfield. End around. A.J. Green with the block from Whitworth. He takes it to the 1 and stopped right there. Gomes got him from behind, an 11-yard run. 1st and goal, Cincinnati.
Jay Gruden is designing some runs, some plays, some passes. This time it's A.J. Green on the reverse. He wants this touchdown so bad. He can't extend the arm there because Wilson has the ball pinned to his belly. But after he clears through the trash here a little bit, watch him hit this hole. He's trying to get the ball extended to the pylon, but he's not able to do so.
Green is down. It is 1st and goal at the 1 for Cincinnati. And their Pro Bowl receiver, who is truly one of the rising stars in the NFL. We told you early in the game that Mike Shanahan said he's amongst the best in the league. Marvin Lewis said last year, the most impressive rookie I've ever been around. And he's been around a lot of them.
Well, he fell on the ball. Anytime that happens, he played football for a long period of time. You fall on the ball right in the middle of his gut, it'll knock the wind out of you. And we've all had it happen to us at some point in time, right there in the belly.
Yeah, right.
See there?
You called it. Yep, I sure did. He's up and running.
See, he'll roll on his back. He's trying to get some air in those lungs. Glad he's okay.
Boy, him and Dalton last year as rookies, starring for the Bengals. Here's another rookie, Robert Griffin III, who just lost the ball deep in his own territory on an errant pitch. And now Dalton is going wide.
Got Wildcat.
Then Jarvis Green Ellis will get the snap and run it over the right side and dig his way in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run by Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, and the Bengals cash in on the fumble by the Redskins. Great call.
Well, if you're Jay Gruden, you are dialing up some plays to keep this defense off balance. It's the second effort by Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Kevin, what did we tell you? He has a nose for the end zone, short yardage and goal line plays. And this is why they allowed him to come over and signed him as an unrestricted free agent. They allow Cedric Benson to hit the market. They felt like they upgraded the offense when they signed Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Nugent will tack on another to make it 24-7. The Cincinnati Bengals, that is the 26th touchdown scored in a little over 2 seasons by Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Remember, they had Cedric Benson, 3 consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons. They let him go. They wanted more versatility out of the backfield, and you just saw that with Green Ellis on the Wildcat and the touchdown. Wednesday in primetime. JB, Chris Collinsworth, and Phil Simms bring you their unique view of America's Sunday pastime you won't find anyplace else. It's Inside the NFL. Wednesday on Showtime. 17 unanswered points by Cincinnati.
And the defense makes plays. Carlos Dunlap goes 6'6", 250-plus pounds. He is a specimen of a defensive end. But it was the smart, heady play on that option play. Just be disciplined and stay on the quarterback, RG3. Not only did he get the quarterback, he was able to knock the pitch down from RG3 that had been intended for Alfred Morris. So now he gets to play on Robert Griffin III and comes up with the fumble.
2 touchdown passes by the Bengals, one by Sanu, one by Dalton. A 1-yard touchdown run by Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Griffin and the offense fumbling it away moments ago, so they cash in on that. And here now, the ensuing kickoff by Nugent and Cincinnati. Banks out of the end zone. He'll let it fly. Touchback to the 20. Not the way the Redskins wanted to open up their home portion of the schedule. A flag has been thrown back at the 39, where the ball was kicked off at about the 35 in that area. Maybe a offsides, perhaps?
It's like it's going to come back.
Number 45, offsides on the kicking team. The ball would be re-kicked.
Jeremy Miles, who started last week for Cincinnati, not starting today. And look at your Heisman Trophy winner from a season ago in college football.
And this is exactly what Marvin Lewis told us when we asked him about Robert Griffin III. Said, we want to make him experience negative plays. We want to contain him. We want to hit him. And we want to stay home and be sound and fundamental in our defensive game plan. That's what they've done. Only 37 yards passing so far in the game in 6 pass attempts, but they've done a good job of containing him and keeping him in the pocket.
You and I were talking to Griffin on Friday. We also talked to Shanahan Friday afternoon, and Mike said, I asked Robert, I said, what kind of playbook did you have at Baylor? He said, we didn't have a playbook at Baylor.
He said he had never saw him take a play from center. He said they didn't have the route tree, and so he had to project as to how good he would be at the next level. He said, but there were so many of the intangibles that they had to move up in the 2012 draft to take him with that 2nd overall pick.
It was interesting to hear veterans like London Fletcher and, although he's young in his 2nd year, Ryan Kerrigan talk about the poise that he shows. And this team is so in back of him, veteran and young player alike.
Well, it's just amazing. All the players have said so many wonderful things to say, and the fact that he's a very humble player and speaks well for him.
Here comes Brandon Banks, who got a nice block on that play by Niles Paul and returns it up to about the 48-yard line. 48-yard line, a return of 55 yards in Cincinnati territory. Well, he was at TCU, these two quarterbacks. Robert Griffin III against Andy Dalton. Dalton's 28-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Curley put TCU up. Griffin found Josh Gordon. That was in the third. Dalton was near perfect in this contest, 21-23. Just shy of 270 yards, a couple of touchdowns and no picks, so they have faced each other before. First down and 10. Griffin through the fingertips and incomplete of Logan Paulson. And coverage on the play by Burfict.
Dalton got the better of RG3 in that game, and he's getting the better of him even today. He's got help from a good defense on the front end, then back end, and even in coverage, finding it hard to complete passes consistently against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. And if you ask me, what are the Bengals able to do against RG3 those other teams weren't able to do? Keeping him in the pocket and providing constant pressure.
Second down and 10. Here they come again. Being chased to the near side. And incomplete. Looking downfield, was it Morris that was in the vicinity? The coverage by Vincent Ray, and the pressure was applied by the newest Bengal, Wallace Gilberry, who was just let go by Tampa Bay earlier this week.
Oh, Mike Zimmer is just dialing up all kinds of pressure. His defense came in ranked 30th overall after a 7th top 10 ranking 1 year ago. And so he's put together, I think, a wonderful game plan here in the first half against Robert Griffin III. They're getting hits on the young quarterback. He's feeling the pressure and speeding up his play.
Royster in the backfield, nickel secondary, third down and 10. Good block by Trent Williams at left tackle. Hickensteiger at a block. They unleash Griffin, who runs down to about the 37-yard line. And Maualuga saw him there along with Ray, an 11-yard scramble. It is a first down for the Redskins.
So we praise the defense for containing RG3, and they let him get out of the pocket. This is the first time he's been able to convert on third and long all day. They had been 0 for 4 on third down conversions before he runs and gets out of the pocket. It's third and about 10 and a half, almost 11 yards. He gains every inch and needed every bit of it to pick up the first down.
Cincinnati's just taking a timeout with 2:26 to play here late in the first half, and what has been a wild first half with a lot of trickery by Marvin Lewis, the 10th-year head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, who was very honest with us last night talking about the contract extension he got. He said, you know, you don't get a chance to restart in your job, but he feels like now he's had that chance with young players, a quarterback and receiver, and across the roster.
Yeah, he felt there was a time to make some changes. He brings over Jay Gruden, a new offensive coordinator. You got a talented wide receiver, and A.J. Green, talented young quarterback, and Andy Dalton, and felt like he had a chance to really do some things differently that maybe he didn't get to do the first time around. What did he say? We didn't have to change cities in order to do that. Didn't have to move his family, and boy, I think they hit the jackpot with players like Andy Dalton and A.J. Green.
I'd like to remind you, coming up in the Verizon Halftime Report, JB and Company with scores, highlights, and news on the Verizon Halftime from our CBS studios in New York. Being put together for you right now, Royster in that pistol formation. They've got Davis in motion, first and 10. Evan Royster, all-time leading Penn State running back, got a block downfield and maneuvers by it. The block on the play came from Robinson, a 12-yard burst, and he maneuvers the ball to the 26-yard line of Cincinnati.
Well, we may see more of this, and watch the safeties coming up on the play. It is the safeties who miss and whip on the tackle right there, and then you can see Adam Jones able to make the tackle and save a touchdown.
2-minute warning with Cincinnati on top of the Washington Redskins, 24-7. Carlos Dunlap is given some pressure off the edge.
Oh, absolutely. 6'6", 280. As soon as he come into the game, he changed things for the Bengals for the better.
At the 2-minute warning, 3 timeouts for the Redskins, first and 10. Robert Griffin III, they come up the middle, and this is Royster. And knocked down on the play by Terrence Newman. It is a loss of a yard.
Kevin, they're getting hits on the quarterback, Robert Griffin III. He's being hit, hurried, and harassed, whether it's Michael Johnson and his 2 sacks. Carlos Dunlap has made his presence felt, hitting the quarterback, stripping the ball on the option play, coming up with the fumble, setting the table for even more points as Mike Zimmer's defense has showed up in a huge way today after giving up over 400 yards total offense in their previous 2 games.
They're in the nickel. Pac-Man Jones with a big-time hit. He nailed him across the way. They were going for Santana Moss.
Look at Adam Jones. He's got to keep his cool. I think Santana Moss may have said something to him to kind of set him off.
You know, I asked the Bengals earlier today, I said, does anybody call him Pac-Man anymore? He goes, yeah, the players all call him Pac-Man. We call him Adam Jones and Pac-Man back and forth. This time just call him Mr. Hitler because he drills him right there.
Wow. Sure did. He's always been a really good football player. Now that he's got some discipline in his game, we've seen great improvement.
It's 3rd down and 11. The block by Trent Williams. There goes Robert Griffin III, and he wanders down to about the 18-yard line, picks up 7 on the play. It'll be 4th down and 4. See the 3 timeouts remaining for Washington.
Yeah, and Robert Griffin III, he is getting his jersey dirty in this game. And the Bengals defense, they're hitting hard. They're getting a lot of licks on him. Even after he throws the ball, Kevin, he's experienced some contact, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
Griffin's got 4 carries and 23 yards, and on this drive, he's carried for 11 and for 7. Remember, this was all set up on the 55-yard kickoff return by Brandon Banks.
I'm not so sure on this one. I'd rather go in at the halftime with some points after this drive, Kevin. I'm not so sure that they really are going to go for it.
They called timeout on the sideline. Mike Shanahan actually called that timeout. You can see they burned their first. 36 seconds to play before the half. In good scoring position right here in the red zone at the 18 of Cincinnati, but with a 4th and 3.
Well, Mike Shanahan has always been a great play caller and a great strategist. And I think if they can convert some plays on 3rd down against this defense of the Bengals in the second half, they're not out of this game, but you don't want to come away in this position without getting some points. You kick the field goal, I think you feel better about yourself going in at halftime, and then you come out and make it a different game in the second half.
Billy Cundiff will try the field goal. Remember, in preseason now, they had Neil Rackers, they had Graham Gano. Those two were battling. Then this guy became available when he was cut loose by Baltimore. They quickly signed him.
He's good.
This is a 36-yard field goal try.
He's good inside of 50. Outside of 50, he's only made 1 of his last 11 attempts.
Rocco will hold. And Billy Cundiff will get it to go through. And 3 more on the board for the Washington Redskins with 31 seconds to play, and it's 24-10. So they get something out of the drive after the 55-yard kickoff by Banks. Well, Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS rolls on as Tyler Bray and the Tennessee Volunteers go between the hedges to face Aaron Murray and the 5th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs. The hoopla begins with college football today. Next Saturday, 3 o'clock Eastern, right here on CBS.
We have a lot of hoopla in this ball game, do we not?
A lot.
A great billing between 2 young quarterbacks. Robert Griffin III, Andy Dalton has been phenomenal in the first half. 10 of 15, 152 yards passing. He's got a touchdown, but also he's thrown a pick 6 to Rob Jackson in the first quarter of the game. But he's got his offense on the move. He's spreading it around, playing very well. You get the sense that despite the score, that the Redskins are still in it, because this Bengals defense has not played consistently well during the first 2 weeks.
You know, we look at Dalton, and I'm sure they've designed a lot of this offense that played to Dalton's strength using features that he used in that spread offense down at TCU.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what you see. He said he had always been in an offense at TCU where he can check from a run play to a pass play and from a pass to a run. He always had a great deal of experience. I think when you're a 4-year starter in college, Kevin, I think you can build your resume to doing things offensively at that level. And that's what I think the quarterbacks who stay in school and get that extra year, I think they come in so much more prepared.
Pac-Man Jones is deep back, and here is the kickoff by Cundiff. And he'll bring it out. Adam Jones, the fearless player out of West Virginia, brought down about the 10-yard line. Reed Dowdy got him.
Poor judgment. I thought after he bobbled the kick, he should have stayed in. Had he caught it on the fly, you go ahead and bring it out. But once you have the bobble, you got to go ahead and stay in. Even Pearman saying, I was telling you to stay in. Are you going to listen to me? You see, Pearman gave him the sign and signal to keep it into the end zone.
Well, this is interesting because they're at the 10. They've got 2 timeouts. They've got 27 seconds remaining on the first half clock. And they're going to go right into the formation of a kneel down, and this will take us to halftime. Redskins have 2 timeouts as well. And let's see if anybody will call time. Neither does, and that will take us to the break. So we had a 73-yard touchdown pass to tip things off here in Washington in a wildcat formation. A rookie receiver, Mohamed Sanu, hit A.J. Green, a 73-yard picture-perfect pass to get things underway for the Bengals.
Well, they've got off to a good start as they go in with a 14-point lead at halftime. Now they got to figure out how to continue to keep RG3 hemmed in the pocket, keep the pressure on him.
Just under 300 total offensive yards in the first half by the Bengals. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message. You're watching CBS, home of Super Bowl 47.
Baby, free yourself. Ain't no one to do it. Free yourself. Ain't nothing to it. Free yourself. Yeah, don't let nobody try and steal your soul. You're the original.
We had fireworks to begin this one in Washington, and it continued throughout the first half.
Yeah, the Bengals started out very aggressive on offense, going up top on the 73-yard touchdown pass on the first play of the game, but they stayed aggressive defensively, keeping the quarterback, RG3, hemmed in the pocket. They were able to hit, hurry, and harass his play, and that's why they have a tremendous lead in this game.
We talked about some fireworks to begin things. Here is how it began as we take a look at our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. That is a rookie wide receiver, Sanu, to a second-year wide receiver, the angular A.J. Green, a 73-yard strike, and that got things underway. And through 30 minutes of football, here are some of the numbers just outside of Washington.
Good play calling by Jay Gruden, the offense coordinator by the Bengals. 7 different players have run the football for the Bengals. 2 wide receivers, 3 running backs. The quarterback is running. Even the punter has run the ball. That's why they produce 272 yards of total offense so far in the game. But the big plays, I think, are significant. They've had 3 plays of 20-plus yards. The Redskins offense has had none.
Bengals will kick off to begin things here in the second half. Banks is back there and watches this one sail out of the end zone. The touchback to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. What about the state mentally now of Robert Griffin III? How does he take his offense out there down 24-10?
I think it's by play design. You see only 34 yards passing so far in the game, 5 of 10. He's only converted 1 of 6 third down opportunities. If I'm Mike Shanahan, I'm using his mobility to roll him out a little bit more, getting him outside of the edge of Carlos Dunlap and Michael Johnson, 2 big defensive ends who have collapsed the pocket on him when he stayed in the pocket.
On the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. And Morris, who is grabbed by Pecco and drags him out to about the 25 on a gain of 5.
They haven't had the best, of course, field position. You can see 4 consecutive punts in the first half, and then they had the fumble, the turnover. It resulted into points by the Cincinnati Bengals, and then finally on that last possession, they convert the third down plays. They're able to get a field goal just before halftime.
On 2nd down and 5, Morris. And there is Atkins with some help on the play from Robert Gathers. A gain of a yard or a loss of a yard.
Geno Atkins, one of the more underrated defensive tackles in the National Football. Look at him. Look at the speed. And he talked about running to the ball, getting off blocks. And you can see he's doing that. He is having a whale of a football game.
How do you assess the revamped secondary of the Bengals today?
Well, with the pressure they're getting up front, Kevin, everyone looks good on the back end. RG3 hasn't had a lot of time on play-action pass play.
Royster was in the backfield. That is right on the money. The tumbling catch by Fred Davis at about the 39. A catch of 14 and a 1st down for Washington.
And they were able to convert on that play with Fred Davis over the middle. And see, if the pressure doesn't get to him, now you have a better chance of completing. Right between the linebackers, Vincent Ray and Ray Maualuga, right in front of the safety. So RG3 understood he had to get something going on that play to make something of this possession.
Bengals have been a little bit susceptible with passes down the middle against
them
defensively.
Have, especially when the pressure hasn't gotten to the quarterback.
1st and 10. That's Davis. Hit by Burfict. It is a 12-yard catch, and they're into Bengal territory at the 49.
Well, we talked to Fred Davis. He had played with Taylor Mays at USC, has played with Ray Maualuga. He knows them both. You can see he makes that catch right in front of Ray Maualuga. But you can see there's some pressure right. Well, Boy, RG3 gets hit in the chops. Who was that? Michael Johnson, big 93, getting a hit on him. You can see the times he's been sacked. Hit, hurried, and harassed on a number of occasions.
Jordan Black is back in there at that left tackle. It is a 1st and 10 for the Redskins on the first possession. And here comes Royster, slithering his way and on his feet still and close to a first down as he's whacked at about the 39-yard line. Gang tackled there. We'll call it a gain of about 10.
You might ask, okay, why is the offense able to move the ball on this possession when they had struggled? We showed you the numbers from the first half. One is they're starting to get some run game going right up the middle of the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Another has been play action, getting the ball to Fred Davis, the big tight end, over the middle of the field. So you can see Mike Shanahan's kind of putting something together and giving the Bengals defense something different than what they saw in the first half.
And they'll measure. We mentioned Trent Williams. He is on the sideline and watching as he was injured back in the first half and about a football's length shy of the first down. Look at Mike Shanahan, and if he wins today in the regular season game against Cincinnati, he'll pass Bud Grant, the Hall of Fame coach, for all-time regular season wins in pro football. Two-time Super Bowl champion, many years at Denver, and he knows about quarterbacks, including with Elway and others. He drafted Jay Cutler out of Vanderbilt.
He sure did. He also, remember, if you go back and remember, Jake Plummer had a 4,000-yard passing season for him. Had some really good years, and then Cutler, a couple of Pro Bowls. So he knows how to groom a quarterback, and he talked to us about some of the talents needed. RG3 felt had all of those and then some that he called intangibles to make him a great player.
Devin Still is on that Bengal defensive line, 2nd down and 1. Morris, who played for Howard Schnellenberger down at Florida Atlantic, is spun around. Jones was there. Flag is thrown. Gain of 5 to the 35-yard line as it stands right now.
Adam Jones, an aggressive player. They may get him for the horse collar on this play.
Personal foul. Horse collar. Number 24 on the defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run.
Well, there you
First
see,
down.
Dragging him down from the back. That is the horse collar play. And you just have to be smart enough not to do it. And Adam Jones is an aggressive player. He's a good tackler. All he had to do was wrap up both arms around the ball carrier and would have gotten him down. Didn't have to be nearly as violent on that play.
And again, as we said earlier, Leon Hall not playing today because of injury, and so they had to shuffle their backfield. First down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Morris, a block from Black and a block from his tight end Paulson, and he takes it 2 with a gain of 6 about the 14-yard line. Nice looking opening second half drive by the Skins.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of running the ball. That has been the consistent theme on this possession. As we've seen now 7 plays on the drive, 5 of them have been run plays dialed up by Mike Shanahan. Only asking RG3 to throw it twice. They feel like if they can get the run game going, that'll slow down this very aggressive Bengals defensive front.
Royster now in, 2nd down and 4. Good fake, Griffin. Looking for a block that time, which he got from Davis. Run out of bounds at about the 7. A 7-yard run. Hit over there by Jones and others. And a first down.
Now watch this play here. Right in there at the mesh point. You can see Michael Johnson. He thought that he was going to hand the ball off to the fullback. And we call this the mesh point. If you're the defensive end, read this, stay outside. He doesn't. Michael Johnson allows RG3 to get outside, and that's why he picks up the first down. And that's where the Bengals have been so good in the first half of keeping RG3 hemmed in the pocket and contained. Make a big mistake on that play.
Morris back in, 1st and goal at the 7. Alfred slipping, flying, touchdown. And the Redskins are back in business.
Now you have them, and then now you don't. Mike Shanahan put together a tremendous drive as you see Morris. Watch this. You got him 1 minute, this Geno Atkins. He spins out and is able to just waltz right through the secondary to get it into the end zone.
Billy Cundiff will try to tack on one more early in this third quarter. There were some interesting plays on that drive. The tight end Davis caught passes of 14 and 12. Tack on one more, 24-17. Don't forget the 15-yard horse collar penalty on Adam Jones. And then a 7-yard burst by rookie running back Alfred Morris. Mike Shanahan and his staff coached the Senior Bowl last year, and on that team he had Alfred Morris. He discovered him, drafted him in the 6th round. He is the starting running back to begin this season for the Skins.
Bruce Allen and company, they know how to find some players. And, you know, given some time, you know they're going to improve this roster, going to improve this franchise. You can already see it, and you can already feel the excitement here in the D.C. area.
Cundiff to kick it out of the end zone over the head of Tate. Touchback to the 20-yard line. The Redskins now full on defense, and here comes Andy Dalton with the game a bit tighter. Today marks the NFL celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. The NFL and teams are honoring the contributions of their Hispanic fans, players, and communities. As part of the tribute, the Redskins are playing a special edition of their fight song, Viva Los Redskins, today. And there was a special Hispanic-themed halftime performance, as you see, by the Junior Redskins cheerleaders. After the touchdown by the Skins, 1st and 10, A.J. Green, who had the wind knocked out of him. You may recall at the end of the first half, gets a pass from Dalton. He picks up 8. They'll put the ball at the 28-yard line on that first down.
Washington Redskins cut the Bengals lead by 7 points. Let's see if now the defense can come away with a stop. Not going to be easy because the Bengals have scored on the first possession in the second half in their first 2 games so far this season.
It's 2nd down and 2. Bowling the block at the left guard. Bobbled, almost picked off on the ricochet. Intended for Gresham. Almost picked off by London Fletcher. That's the 2nd time he's just about had an interception in this game.
He's anywhere and everywhere. This ball ricochets off the hand, then the face mask of Gresham. And Gresham's able to get that arm bar in to keep London Fletcher from coming away with the interception. Just right there was enough to keep both hands of Fletcher off the ball and coming away with the interception. 227 consecutive games played, NFL's version of the Iron Man.
Crawford becomes the extra defensive back. 3rd down and 2. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Not a whole lot there. Baker among a couple. We're in there plugging up that hole, and also on that line, Stephen Bowen. It's a gain of 1. They're shy of the first, and the Cincinnati Bengals have got a punt.
D'Angelo Hall also knifing in to finish off on the play. Bengals won't score that first possession in the second half of the 3rd consecutive game as they bring on the punter, and Redskins now starting to see some of the momentum in this game.
Kevin Huber on the long snap. Brandon Banks will backpedal. Clark Harris is the one to get it back there in the long snap, and Banks running out of room. And out of bounds he goes. We take a timeout. RG3 is on deck, trailing by 7. The NFL lost a legend Tuesday with the passing of NFL Films president Steve Sable. NFL Films was founded by Steve's father, Ed, back in 1962, with Steve eventually working as a cameraman. Under Steve, NFL Films pioneered video techniques such as super slow-mo, but became best known for its dramatic music and the hiring, of course, of the original voice of NFL Films, John Facenda. At 69, we lose a friend of all of us, certainly the NFL, Steve Sable. Redskins getting it after a punt by Cincinnati at the 14, 1st down and 10. Last possession, a beautiful 9-play, 80-yard drive. RG3, little play action. Right on the screws, caught that time. Leonard Hankerson brought down by Clements. It's a gain of 23. He's up to the 37-yard line and to New York and James.
DC boy getting it done, coach.
Yeah, don't count San Francisco out yet. They go 9 plays, 86 yards, capped by this 1-yard touchdown pass to your DC boy, Vernon Davis, JB. 17-13, San Francisco trailing by 4.
Alex Smith, 19 of 25, 158 yards and a touch. Efficient gain. Back to Kevin and Solly.
Maybe the premier tight end in the NFL, Davis.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know that you can run with it, and he's a great blocker as well.
Banks in the backfield. There's a 1st and 10. You see the run right there, and that goes off to Morris, huh? Nice run right there by Alfred Morris. They also had Banks. That's a gain of 12.
All right, Morris made a statement. He ran over the entire left side of the defense for the Cincinnati Bengals on that play. They are pounding the running game, Kevin. In the previous 9-play drive, they ran it 7 out of 9 plays and just ripped off chunks of yards.
Here's Banks again back there in the pistol. 1st and 10. This is Banks. Out races Ray. Flying down the sideline. Hit by Reggie Nelson. Works his way to the 29 of Cincinnati. A 21-yard run, another first down for Washington.
We've already seen the Wildcat by the Bengals. Now we've got the double option. And then you pitch it out to Banks. He's able to get away from Nate Clemens. As you said, the 21-yard run, getting his speed on the edge of the Bengals defense. And now they've really got the Bengals defense back on their heels. And Washington Redskins are rolling on offense.
He only weighs 153 pounds.
Well, take a look at the chunks of yards they're ripping off here in the second half. Already 122 yards of total offense. Only 68 for the Bengals.
Morris on 1st and 10. Columbus tries to get a block and, of course, foiled that time by Carlos Dunlap. It is a loss of 1 back to the 30. We gain James from our CBS studios in New York.
Coach, turnovers hurt.
Yeah, Kansas City, Dexter McCluster, an ugly injury, then fumble. Leads this Jimmy Graham 1-yard touchdown pass, and now New Orleans takes a 17-6 lead over Kansas City.
Don't count the Saints out. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
And the second best tight end in the NFL is Graham down in New Orleans.
There was some synergy in both of those updates.
Banks back there in that pistol, 2nd down and 11. And they give it off to Alfred Morris. Trying to carve his way down. Malaluga brings him down after a gain of 4 to the 25.
You know, I stand corrected. I said the Bengals had 68 yards offense here in the first half. They only have 9 total yards of offense here in the second half of this ball game. Defense unable to get off the field for Marvin Lewis. They already allowed the 9-play, 80-yard drive here in the second half. And now look at them. They seem to be withering here on this possession as well. Let's see if they get a big-time stop on 3rd down.
Royster is in the nickel secondary, 3rd and 7. Griffin. Brought down by Nelson. Slides. Helmet first to the 16. A 9-yard run. Another first down for the Redskins.
In the first half, they came with the double. This is what we call triple option. Fake it to the fullback. Now the quarterback keeps it. The third option is his ability to pitch it to Banks out on the perimeter. So we saw the double option in the first half, which I thought the Bengals did a wonderful job of stopping it. Now they're showing them the triple option. And right now they've got the Bengals dazed and confused.
7th play of the drive in the pistol. Griffin. Banks. Nelson from the secondary brings him down, and he's hit at about the 11 on a gain of 5.
This takes us back to our college principles. Playing the triple option. Look, they fake the dive there. Quarterback keeper. Look, Lawson stays with the quarterback, or rightfully so. No one is there to take the pitch. And that's what the triple option will do. It forces you to be disciplined at every decision point. The fake to the fullback, the quarterback keeper, then the pitch to the tailback.
Morris on 2nd down and 5. Into the teeth of that defense. Manny Lawson among a couple that make the stop, and Atkins was there, close to a first down. Gain of about 5. He's close to the 6, depending on the spot.
Washington Redskins, 150 yards rushing in 3 straight games. It's the first time that happened since 2008. And Shanahan got the run game going simply by installing the triple option here in the second half as he's looking to tie up this football game. Look at 152 yards rushing compared to 75 for the Bengals. Has done it in a very unconventional way.
Timeout. Shanahan did not like how slowly that play was going in. Plus, they are in very important territory right now. On the move with a 1st and goal and 4 to play in the 3rd. Gorgeous day here in the Washington area. 1st and goal for the Redskins at the 6. Look at those numbers.
That's because they can run the football, and Mike Shanahan does a really good job, as well as anyone, manufacturing rush yards on offense.
820, Navajo.
Here he comes with Black trying to lead the way. He also got a block on the near side by his Tight end Niles Paul. That is a 4-yard run. Is he hurt? It's up.
He's
That's
tough
good.
cookie.
Yep, it sure is.
This is the 9th play of the drive. Okay, and they've run it 8 of the 9 plays. And RG3 keeps it again. See, he had stepped out of bounds just as he launched himself, I should say, towards that goal line. He did have that left foot stepped out of bounds.
So now they'll be at the 3. Let's watch it again.
Watch that. See that
And
left
on the
foot
chalk.
right
Yep,
there.
Good call.
There it is.
Second and goal at the 3. Timeout. That's the second now, leaving 1 remaining for the Skins. 3.5 to play here in the third. And again, a very important series for Washington as they come back. They had 17 unanswered, scored them on the first half. They were down at one time, 24-7. And they're very close to going in here again for the second time into second half possessions. Watch Fantasy Football Today to get game time player news, inactive updates to help set your lineup, and chat with our experts live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, and at cbssports.com/live. So Solly, second down, goal to go at the 3.
What do you do now? Remember earlier we saw them in this position. They went a little wildcat, and they did a direct snap to the fullback, Morris, and he was able to pound it in, get it in for a touchdown.
Young will try to block. That is in the end zone for a Santana Moss touchdown. They beat Adam Jones.
We said the pressure was so good in the first half of keeping Griffin in the pocket. I said they had to start rolling him out, creating some throwing lanes, get outside the big defensive ends for easy completions such as this. And they can beat Adam Jones to the pylon, does Santana Moss. Accurate throw while on the move from RG3 for a touchdown.
4th all-time leading Redskin receiver Santana Moss, now in his 12th season. Trying to tie will be Cundiff. 3.5 to play here in the third. 2 second half possessions, 2 Redskin touchdowns, and we are tied. On that drive, Hankerson caught one for 23. Morris ran one for 12. Banks ran one for 21. Santana Moss just inside the goal line from RG3. Well, I said moments ago that the Bengals had 17 unanswered in the first half. Redskins had 17 unanswered from the first to the second half.
I think it takes us back to that final drive of the first half. We said that if the Redskins could get the field goal there, they went into the locker room at halftime feeling pretty good about themselves. They get off to a good start in the second half. We got ourselves a ball game.
The Cundiff kickoff. Over Tate's head. 20-yard line. Touchback, first down and 10. Well, it's the mother of all weddings on the season premiere of How I Met Your Mother, followed by the series premiere of the new comedy Partners. That's tomorrow starting at 8, 7 Central, only on CBS. So 3 consecutive scores by the Redskins, the 36-yard field goal before half, a 7-yard touchdown run by Morris, 3-yard touchdown pass moments ago by Moss. From the 20, Andy Dalton, first and 10. Green Ellis in the backfield. Dalton, good looking catch by A.J. Green, and he was working on the veteran, D'Angelo Hall. That is a 28-yard completion up to the 47-yard line.
D'Angelo Hall is saying, are you kidding me? You can't cover A.J. Green any closer than this. But his ability to be a great handball catcher, even in tight coverage, I think that's what separates him from most wide receivers.
Green Ellis is hit by Crawford on that first and 10 run. Back at the last go. There's a fumble on the play. The Redskins have it. They're going to go the other way, but they blow it down. And even though we see Josh Wilson, much like he did last week against the Rams, take it in, they blew it dead. Redskins have it, and that is a turnover for Cincinnati.
Well, this is the impossible.
That is the first fumble in 590 touches by Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis, this was a story that was reported on earlier this week.
Yeah, and that ball comes out. before his knee hits the ground, before he is down, and ball comes out. The first fumble in a regular season game of his NFL career. 590 career touches without putting it on the ground.
Unbelievable. Last time he fumbled was back in 2007 when he was in college at Ole Miss from the 47-yard line. And the author of 3 consecutive scores. Now in the pistol. Robert Griffin III, 1st and 10. Brandon Banks, perfect. Knocks him out of bounds at about the 47, no gain on the play. The last fumble took place on November 17th. He was playing at Ole Miss. How about this digging in the archives? LSU at Ole Miss. Last time he fumbled.
It's one of the reasons why the Bengals went out and signed him. He felt like his ability to secure the ball in short yardage goal line situations, keep the offense on track, is what this offense needed.
Jordan Black is still playing that left tackle. I don't know if we'll see any more of Trent Williams, who was injured earlier in the game. 2nd down and 10. Griffin. Here comes the pressure. Down he goes again. Michael Johnson has come up with his 3rd sack today. Mark him back at the 45. Loss of 8 on the play to New York and James.
Minnesota playing well against the Niners.
Oh, and boy, is Christian Ponder having a day. Here's 2nd touchdown of the day to Kyle Randolph. Catch a 12-play, 86-yard drive. And now Minnesota Vikings go up on San Francisco.
No Viking turnovers. The quarterback has not been sacked. 3 drives of 80 yards or more. Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Good numbers. You and I just saw the Vikings a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and Christian Ponder continues to get better each and every week.
3rd down and 18. They come around Columbus's side, the right tackle, and it's incomplete. Looking for Hankerson. Columbus could not hold off the pressure on the play, and they got a punt.
Boy, the defensive ends for the Bengals taking over this game. We already saw Michael Johnson get in, but watch Dunlap coming in from the backside. Nearly gets this ball, and I think it forced the errant pass from Robert Griffin III. Between Michael Johnson and Carlos Dunlap, giving this offensive line all they can handle.
Rocca with the punt as the Redskins squander. Great field position on the fumble. This is Tate. Fair caught, 13-yard line on a 41-yard boot. 1:41 to play in the 3rd. Robert Griffin III is unable to do anything with it there, and now it goes back to Dalton and Cincinnati. Tomorrow, don't miss a Two Broke Girls season premiere shocker. And it's new time tomorrow at 9, 8 Central. Only on CBS. You're home for Super Bowl 47.
Kevin, you had talked about it. The Redskins have scored on 3 consecutive possessions, but you can see RG3's been sacked 5 times in the game. It took Michael Johnson and Carlos Dunlap to put it into that run by the Skins offense.
Now is on 1st and 10. Hit once and twice and finally driven down. Looked like Jackson was leading the brigade. A loss of a yard. Rob Jackson taking the place of the injured Arakpo, who is out for the year. The torn pec moved the ball back to about the 13.
And Jackson is a 4th-year player from Kansas State. You can tell he's got the experience. I was talking to Bruce Allen, the team's general manager, at practice on Friday. He said Jackson had an incredible preseason. They really felt that he would play well today, and he's done nothing to disappoint him.
Preston Butler is coming as an extra defensive back. He's 1 of 5. 2nd down and 11. Kerrigan knocked it away. Oh my goodness, what a great rush put on by Ryan Kerrigan out of Purdue, #1 pick a season ago.
He is an excellent player. He talked about Brian Arakpo helped him to make the transformation from a 3-4 to a 4-3 defense. In the face of the quarterback, he's able to time this pass. Watch, he times it up. And his ability to bat it down, he prevents the completion, but he nearly caught it himself. He'd had himself an interception.
Like last year, early in the season against the Giants when he did the same thing.
He can make big plays from that defensive end or outside linebacker position.
Leonard back there with the quarterback Dalton, 3rd and 11. Caught by the wide receiver Hawkins. On the coverage was Wilson. It is a gain of 7. They are short of the 1st down. They got a punt.
Well, it's a good throw from Dalton and a better catch by by Hawkins. But Hawkins had to dive for it. He wasn't able to keep his feet and hit the 1st down mark.
Nugent and Banks on this one. Or rather, Huber, excuse me. Kevin Huber will punt this. And Brandon Banks is back at about the 35-yard line for the Redskins. Winding down the third. Keeping it out of his hands. So they're going to get some good beginning field position here with Robert Griffin III and the Redskins scoring 17 unanswered points to tie the game at 24.
Yeah, and Robert Griffin III has come alive here in the second half. He's made some nice throws down the teeth of this Bengals defense. His ability to hit the edge and run the ball and throw it on the edge, getting outside of those defensive ends of the Cincinnati Bengals. They saw him get his game on track and get the Redskins back into the game.
Dunlap will begin this defensive series for the Bengals at the left defensive end, going up against Tyler Columbus. First down and 10. Griffin, a little high and incomplete, looking for the receiver, Aldrick Robinson, who is replacing the injured Pierre Garçon. The third quarter has come to a close. We're tied at 24. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 47. We start the fourth quarter with the Redskins second down and 10. They've got the ball at their own 47-yard line. They're trailing a one-time 24-7. They've come back with 17 unanswered. Griffin to Morris. Tries to plow his way in. Manny Lawson is at the end of the road there. It's a gain of 3. He's close to midfield.
This is an amazing turn of events. We talk about the Redskins gaining the momentum. We said at halftime the Bengals offense exploded for 272 yards of total offense in the first half. Marvin Lewis has got to be clenching his fist just a little bit because, you know, RG3 in this Redskins offense, I don't know that we've seen the best of them so far, but you get the sense that the best is still ahead of him here in the fourth quarter.
Royster is in, 5 in the Bengals secondary, third and a long 7. Black with the block. The door is open for Griffin, who has to get to the 43 for the first, diving right at that point, gaining 6. Appears to be just shy of the first, depending on the spot, and looks to be short. Yeah, by about the length of the football on a gain of 6 right there.
Huge play by the Bengals defense. They've got the stop. I don't think he's going to get there. There you see Nate Clemens coming up from his new safety position, Kevin, playing in Mike Zimmer's defense. He spent a lot of time working with Zim, getting him ready to play the safety position. And now the Redskins going to go for it on fourth down.
Luger was there too. We got a couple of tight ends. 4th and 1. And a timeout for the Bengals. Coming at 13:41. Redskins on the move, tied at 24. Well, Cincinnati called the timeout, gave Mike Shanahan a moment of pause. He thought about it. He's going to send, instead of his offense, his punting unit out on the field.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do. Take the field position.
Savraka to punt. Tate will let it bounce. And was it saved? It was close, and it's loose. And the Bengals touched the ball, and it did hit the end line, the goal line, and out of bounds it goes. Oh, that was close. Terrence Newman was back there, touched the ball.
He is wiping the sweat off his brow.
Oh, my goodness.
Because he knows he dodged one there. Okay, now, there you see it's out, but right there, I don't know. Well, look, his feet was in the end zone when he touched it, but that doesn't make it a touchback if the offensive player foot is in the end zone.
Alexander tried to save it.
But right there, that's a live ball. See, his foot can be in the end zone when he touches it. That's just like bringing a punt out of the end zone. So that does not constitute a touchback if Terrence Newman has contact with the ball and his foot is on the goal line.
Newman is a 10-year veteran, but made a rookie mistake right there.
He is lucky.
Now they've stopped play, and they're going to look at it again.
See, I don't know that if any of the Redskins players were making contact with the goal line or even in the end zone when they contact the ball. I think they may bring this ball back. That's what Mike Shanahan wants to look at. See, this is a clean touch, clean field. He gets it back into play. There's Alexander. Okay,
it touched the chalk. It touched the ball, touched the chalk.
Are we certain of that? I'd like to go back and take a look at it.
I am certain. Watch the nose of the ball. Boom.
Yeah, right there, the ball touched the chalk.
Washington is challenging the previous play.
Right there.
But the ball was not a touchback.
Right there, it constitutes a touchback.
Now, the interesting thing here is the Redskins have challenged. They have one timeout. If they lose the challenge,
they lose
the timeout.
Good eye, Kevin Harlan.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out here and see.
Right there.
Ball hits the chalk there.
Yeah,
Clearly.
Alexander hit it. Ball hits the chalk. That would be a touchback. But nonetheless, Newman doesn't know that. I mean,
no, you're right. You're right. That's another point. Exactly.
He should stay clearly
away
from that ball. It's like a hand grenade at this point. You don't want to go near it.
Bengals had to realign their secondary today because of the injury to Leon Hall. He was inactive because of an injury that he sustained last week. He's got a hip and he's got a calf injury.
Yeah, Newman starts in place of Leon Hall. Nate Clemens starts in place of Taylor Mays at the strong safety position. Adam Jones starting for the first time as well. Playing some musical chairs back there in that secondary. I think for the most, they've played very well on the back end. They've not allowed anything to get behind them. They've come up and tackled very well for Marvin Lewis and Mike Zimmer on the defensive side of the ball. This defense has played much better today than what we've seen in the previous 2 weeks.
All that being said, for the Redskins, the last 2 drives, they've had great beginning field position, yet they've had 2 3-and-outs.
Yeah, and if you talk about the Bengals defense, you say, well, why have they given up 2 long drives here in the third quarter? The triple option has been their Achilles heel.
After further review, the ball touched the goal line, making it a touchback. Washington will be charged a timeout. The ball will be placed on the 20-yard line, first down.
So there's Newman.
Yeah, he was reaching for the oxygen. He didn't know if he was going to be able to stand what the call could have been. And if you're Mike Shanahan, you're not happy about the fact now you've burned your final timeout, 24-24, with plenty of time to go here in the fourth quarter.
And as I just said 30 seconds ago, we've got no timeouts now remaining for the Redskins. They lose it because they lose the challenge. And here we go with a 1st and 10. Scott is in the backfield. Dalton. And caught. Green covered by Hall. Pickup of 11 yards to the 31. Move the chains and a first down.
A.J. Green is just working no matter who is covering it. In this case, it's D'Angelo Hall. Drives him, gets him to turn his hips, then he comes back to the ball. Settles in just beyond the first down marker. So you can see already in his second season, he plays as if he's a 10-year veteran. 7 catches, 150 yards on the day.
You saw right at the top of our screen that Green now has got 7 on the afternoon. He's had a big game, including a 79-yard touchdown reception from a Wildcat rookie receiver, Mohamed Sanu, the first play of the game. 1st and 10. Dalton looked him off well. What a catch made right there by Orson Charles. His first NFL reception. He is a 4th-round rookie out of Georgia. A 24-yard pickup to the 44.
Look how he manipulates the coverage, Kevin. Looking to one side with the pump fake. Madieu Williams can't get over to help London Fletcher against the big tight end. Just an incredible play. You're talking about eye control by the quarterback, luring the defense out of position, and a really wonderful throw from Dalton.
Only reason why Orson Charles is playing is because Donald Lee is injured and inactive. 1st down and 10. Dalton with some big completions. Pressure. Oh, and he's got him in stride. A good-looking catch and all the way to the 12-yard line. A.J. Green hit by Hall. Coverage also by Williams. A 32-yard pickup put him at the 12 of the Redskins, and a flag is down.
Dalton's on fire right now, Kevin. He's sensing pressure coming behind him. Marcus White was breathing down the quarterback's neck when he made that throw to A.J. Green. Flag is down. Let's see, is it on D'Angelo Hall or is it on A.J. Green? Because between wide receiver and defensive back, I think it's going to go against Hall.
This has been a pretty well-officiated game.
Personal foul. Number 23 on the defense. Face mask. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
All right, it's all. Shanahan's going to have to get D'Angelo Hall some help over there on A.J. Green, because one man can't cover him. They're going to have to double him, or there's no way they're going to win this game. And there you see White breathing down the neck of the quarterback. And there you see the pass completed to A.J. Green.
Green has got 182 yards receiving today. Leonard becomes a receiver. Top your screen, the running back. First and goal at the 6. Dalton. Leonard dropped it. And the coverage on the play by linebacker Perry Riley. It'll be second down and goal.
They don't discriminate. They'll throw it to anyone. This is your fullback playing wide receiver on a quick slant, matched up against the linebacker. He's got it in his chest, but he's not used to making those kind of catches. He's not a wide receiver. Marvin Lewis, he brings over Jay Gruden. He's got some multiplicity within this offense. Bengals are on the move right now.
Redskins in their base defense. Second down and goal at the 6. Good block by Smith, the right tackle. They got Gresham digging his way in. Fletcher tries to prevent it. The ball crossed. It is a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown pass by quarterback Andy Dalton to the tight end, Jermaine Gresham.
We came into this game, we told you Andy Dalton was the most efficient quarterback in the league in the fourth quarter. He gets it to Gresham. Watch him stick it out right there. Just the presence of mind before London Fletcher lays a lick on him. You might say this is a little dangerous, exposing the ball a little bit, but he has a sense of understanding of what he can and cannot do. Big, strong, athletic tight end. Boy, is he a player.
It is the third touchdown pass by the Bengals, the second by Dalton. It culminates a 5-play, 80-yard drive. And the extra point is away and in by Nugent. They had some terrific plays. Green caught passes of 11 and 32 yards. Dalton finds Gresham, and the Bengals on top. 6-yard touchdown pass from the guy on the right, second-year TCU quarterback Andy Dalton, to Jermaine Gresham, a third-year receiver out of Oklahoma, first-round pick, a Pro Bowler a season ago. And now Nugent, and the ensuing kickoff by the Bengals, who had 24 were tied and now have come up on top 31-24, and Brandon Banks will move the other way. And brought up and hit on the play by Vincent Ray. 26-yard return up to the 20-yard line. Coming up next, Arian Foster and the Houston Texans take on Peyton Manning and the Broncos. Or Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers face Carson Palmer and the Raiders. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. We watched Carson Palmer, you and I did last week, in Miami, and the Raiders are struggling.
Yeah, but he's capable of putting up some big numbers. He threw the ball well last week. Talk about throwing the ball well. RG3, they've run it well so far here in the second half. Now he's got to create some big-time plays in the passing game.
On his own 20-yard line, first and 10, Griffin. Outside he goes, Brandon Banks. Forced out of play, Nate Clemens. Gain of about 5, and he's to the 25-yard line.
Well, what the Bengals want to do is what Marvin Lewis talked about on these option plays. They want the ball going sideways towards the line of scrimmage. You do not want to allow RG3 to keep that ball and cut up the field for big plays running the football. So even in the triple option, force him to pitch it, and then you rally to the ball to tackle the pitch man.
Redskins have had to play with a new left tackle most of the day in little used Jordan Black. Second down and 5. Trent Williams, a normal left tackle, injured a leg early in the game. Griffin drilled Banks and chased by Johnson and shoved out of bounds by Clemens. And Griffin is down. What a hit on the play.
Manny Lawson. This is what their coaches have instructed them to do. If their quarterback's going to run it, and he is live on this option play, run through the quarterback.
And this is what the Rams did this last week.
That's right. They want to pound them, and boy, feel the impact of this. Oh yeah. You don't want to expose your quarterback with that kind of violence and that kind of contact.
Bengals have gone in the nickel after the 8-yard gain. It's a first and 10 from the 33. Washington with no timeouts. Alfred Morris is hit by Clemens and Johnson. It is a gain of 4, and he's up to the 37.
And now they go to a more dimensional running style, handing it to Alfred Morris up the middle. Do you go back to this triple option? Because the Bengals have responded by saying, whatever we do, we're going to hit your quarterback. We're going to hit RG3. We've already talked about the fact that he's not a real big quarterback. 6'2", 215, very slightly built. And all this pounding by this Bengals defensive line can take its toll.
Second down and 6. Griffin going deep and incomplete. They were looking for Hankerson. No yellow on the field. There's coverage by Adam Jones, and there's coverage by Taylor Mays. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Let's take a look at it. The officials had the hand on the flag. It appears as though they wanted to do something. Watch 26. See, that was the contact there, and that's what Hankerson's complaining about. And then he feels as if he was tripped up by Adam Jones. To be honest with you, I thought there was contact enough necessary to throw the flag, to be honest. I thought he had been interfered with.
Hankerson got a 68-yard touchdown pass last week against the Rams. Royster in the backfield, 3rd and 6. They go deep. It was deflected. It's incomplete. They had pressure up the middle from Carlos Dunlap.
Let's go back and take a look at now. Is Taylor Mays playing the ball here? He's not looking back at the ball, but watch, he'll make contact right there. And then Adam Jones runs right up his back. That constitutes pass interference by every letter of the law in the NFL rulebook.
Rocca. He back is Tate. On the 14-yard line. Nice move, got by Dowdy. And then was hit by Darrell Young. Fullback, 49-yard punt, 13-yard return. Andy Dalton with the lead, a little over 9 to play here in Washington. Big day for second-year wide receiver A.J. Green, 181 receiving yards. That is a career high. 1st down and 10. Green Ellis is back in after fumbling. And a very small gain right there. It was picked up on the play by the aforementioned Green. Fletcher was there, gain of 3 just beyond the 30-yard line.
A.J. Green has been phenomenal. You talked about it. That was his 9th catch of the ball game. And Cincinnati Bengals and their wide receiver, A.J. Green, look what he did. Danny Amendola had 15 catches against this secondary last week. And Lance Moore, week 1, went over 100 yards receiving against the Redskins defense.
2nd down and 8. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis finds a seam into the secondary, hit by Perry Riley and brought down near the 38. It's a gain of about 8 yards, very close to a 1st down.
Well, 2 things right now the Redskins have to do in order to get the ball back from Marvin Lewis and the Cincinnati Bengals. One is you've got to be able to stop Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis can't allow him to get to the second level of the defense. Then as you can force a 3rd and long, the secondary has to do a better job of covering and taking away A.J. Green in the passing offense.
No timeouts for the Redskins. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Green Ellis ran into his own blocker. Looked like Kerrigan was down there, stopping him after a gain of 2 just beyond the 40-yard line. Now coming up, time permitting, after the game, the NFL Today, presented by Farmers Insurance. We'll come your way with JB and company. Latest scores, news, and highlights in this 3rd week of the NFL. 2nd down and 8. Five defensive backs for the Skins. Good block by Whitworth. Nice catch. This is Hawkins, and it's a foot race. Breaking the tackle of Crawford into the house. A 59-yard touchdown pass. A flag was thrown at the 44. Dalton hitting the speed merchant. 5'7" Andrew Hawkins on a 59-yard burner.
Richard Crawford, he's matched up. Let's see what they're calling.
Number 26 on the defense. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Josh Wilson is called for holding. Watch Andrew Hawkins on the right side of your screen. Matched up against 39, Richard Crawford. Nice throw from Andy Dalton. And Hawkins has been an excellent go-to weapon. We talked about so many young, talented receivers for this Cincinnati Bengals offense. Boy, are they good. That is the 10th touchdown pass allowed by this Redskins defense so far this year.
Hawkins had a 56-yard receiving touchdown, a catch and run that was spectacular a week ago with the Nugent extra point up and in. Andrew Hawkins, via the Canadian Football League, cut by a couple teams. He's found a home with the Cincinnati Bengals. How about Andy Dalton? 328 passing yards today, 3 touchdown passes, 1 pick. Hawkins just caught a 59-yarder, a catch and run of 59 yards for the touchdown. They began the game in a wildcat, and Mohamed Sanu, a rookie wide receiver, threw a 73-yard touchdown pass to Green. All a part of the Bengals' big lead of 38-24. That is a touchback. Banks will leave it in the end zone out to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10.
Well, take a look at the touchdown now. Here's going to be the hold right here. London Fletcher matched up against Jermaine Gresham. But here is Hawkins. He'll come here and then straight up the field. It's just a track meet against Richard Crawford. And Crawford doesn't stop him at all and doesn't impede his progress down the field. Tries to turn and run with Hawkins, but it was just no doing it. Hawkins turns on the speed. Quickness and speed combined for an awesome package. Too many weapons in this Cincinnati Bengals offense, and Andy Dalton has taken advantage of every single one of them.
Personal foul, number 51 on the receiving team. Ball will be spotted at the 10-yard line, half the distance to goal. 1st down.
That's Chris Wilson. It was on the kickoff. And there's Andy Dalton, who has had a terrific afternoon quarterbacking the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals scored 17 unanswered points in the first half. Redskins countered with 17 unanswered points of their own. And now the Bengals have scored 14 unanswered. From the 10 because of the penalty, 1st and 10. Black a block, they get right through, he dumps it off, it's incomplete, and they're looking for Royster. It's coverage on the play by Atkins. 2nd down and 10.
Boy, it's been points galore. We said that there would be a lot of points scored in this game. We talked about it, Kevin. You can see Cincinnati jumped out to that 24-7 lead. Then the Redskins climbed their way back in it. The turnovers have played a significant role in it. Then 14 points have come off 3 turnovers. Cincinnati's nearly 500 yards total offense in today's game.
Now there is, and we see Royster down there taking a look at him, there is still 7 minutes remaining in this game. Granted, the Redskins have no timeouts.
That's right.
But the way these two teams have scored today, that's a blink of an eye.
Yeah, stick with us, because Mike Shanahan has always put together an offense that could equally run it and throw it and put up points in a hurry. So if you're the Cincinnati Bengals defense, you've got to keep your foot on the pedal and come after RG3 and look to get the ball back.
Redskins are in their 80th season. They're celebrating their 80th anniversary today. 369 consecutive sellouts registered. One of the great venues in the NFL. Mike Shanahan rebuilding this team. Records of 6-10 and 5-11, and beginning the season 1-1, and in a battle here with the Bengals in week 3. So here is how our game has gone today in Sawi. It began with the Wildcat and a rookie receiver throwing a 73-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, Mohamed Sanu to A.J. Green, and then Dalton. He gets intercepted by Rob Jackson. That tied it up at 7 apiece. And then Gresham, he gets the touchdown here. And that would be just Dalton is shredding this defense apart. Another touchdown strike from Dalton. This one to Andrew Hawkins. 59-yard variety. As you can see, Bengals on top right now, 38-24 with 7 minutes to go. You get the sense that RG3 plans on putting his signature on this game before it's all said and done.
Here's a look at second-year player Evan Royster, who ended the season a year ago with a couple of 100-yard rushing games. So you had him and Hightower and Halou, along with this unknown kid out of Florida Atlantic, Alfred Morris, all looking for running back time. In the preseason, Morris won the job. 2nd down and 10. Here comes the pressure once again by Dunlap. That goes outside to the tight end. Fred Davis runs out of room. A catch and run of 17 yards. We'll put him at the 26.
Yeah, and they just leave Fred Davis wide open. You see him detach right there. Look, no one is even close to him. And doesn't take Robert Griffin III long to find him. As you can see, Vincent Ray turns to drop inside. He leaves Fred Davis wide open over on the sideline.
Reggie Nelson pushed him out of play with no timeouts from his 26. 1st and 10. They go again to the side. Here is Roy Halou. First time he's been in the game. Halou, who was a leading rusher a season ago with a catch there of 6, out of bounds at about the 32-yard line.
Now we get to see Robert Griffin III. They're going sort of what we call, well, they're going to huddle. I thought they were speeding it up, looked like they were going no huddle, but they are going to huddle it up. He's a young quarterback, and so when you see a guy playing in his third NFL career game to go no huddle, I think that's advanced for such a young quarterback.
Second down and 4. Griffin to Davis, upended by Adams. A flag is down. The gain to the 42, a pickup of 10 as it stands right now.
Offensive line.
Holding number 60 on the offense. Remains second down.
And Carlos Dunlap has gone after Jordan Black, who knew Kyle Shanahan down in Houston. So that's how he got hooked up here. But like we said earlier in the broadcast, he didn't even play last season. He basically was retired. Then they said, come on back, we need bodies. He came back. He had to gain a lot of weight because he had lost a lot of weight while he wasn't playing.
Oh, he can't handle the 6'6", 280-pound Carlos Dunlap.
Second down and 14. Now he was working on Columbus. There's a good catch and run by Davis and knocked out of bounds by Adam Jones. It's a 29-yard catch and run. They're going to put him at the 49. And like we said, there's a lot of time left in the Redskins moving upfield.
Well, Kevin, as you can see, when they give Robert Griffin III time to throw the ball, he's finding receivers down the field. I can't tell you how many of these catches that Fred Davis has caught over the middle. This is his, sixth reception of the ball game so far for 83 yards.
First down and 10 here for Griffin. They're chasing him right now with Devin Steele and then finally hit by Wallace Gilbert and Reggie Nelson. So Griffin wandering his way down to about the 43 and picks up 5.
Well, he's going to fill it tomorrow. He's going to get in the whirlpool. But they're chasing and hounding Robert Griffin III. You can see the pressure was coming in. He was able to get out of the pocket and turn it into a positive play.
Him at the 44 with a second down and 5. Outside they go again. Leonard Henderson comes out of bounds. Coverage on the play by Allen. Gain of 10 yards. That's another first down to the 35.
Yeah, this is amazing, the amount of responsibility they're giving RG3 in this offense. You look, Hankerson catching the ball over on the sideline in front of the Bengals defense. I think the Bengals secondary now giving up way too much cushion to the receivers on the perimeter of the defense. Got to tighten it up a little bit. You're doing a good job of rushing the quarterback. The ball is coming out quickly.
Blue in the backfield for Griffin. First and 10. Malou, who led all rookie running backs in receptions a season ago. He's finally chased down by Clemens. At about the 30-yard line, he picks up 5.
Oh, he's got good pocket presence, Kevin. You can see right there, he felt a little pressure, moved around, bought a little time, and he's going through his progressions rather quickly. When the first or second receiver isn't open, he's going to the check down right away.
Second and 5. Underneath, Davis corkscrews his way to about the 22. Picks up 7. Another Redskin first down. You see the clock ticking away to get no timeouts for the Skins.
Well, the Bengals got to find out where Fred Davis is. He's just catching way too many balls over the middle field. You can see a head knocker by Ray Malaluga separating Fred Davis from his helmet.
5 in the secondary for the Cincinnati Bengals. Davis is on the sideline getting that helmet repaired. It is a first down from the 22. Griffin underneath for Moss. Coverage by the 12-year veteran Nate Clemens playing some safety. What did he say last night when we talked to him? He said the difference between playing corner and safety is I got a better view at that safety position.
Yeah, he said it was a less stressful position. Talking about the corner position where you're playing out on that island against some of the top receivers in the NFL. But there's a whole nother burden of responsibility, and Marvin Lewis talked about it, that you've got to be the quarterback of the defense when you play that safety position. Got to play inside out, and you've got to be a really good tackler.
Davis is still out, second down and 10. Here comes Dunlap. They dump it off. Hankerson, back by Malaluga, runs wisely out of bounds after he was going to be headed off at the pass. He's down to the 11. A catch and run on the play of 11 yards.
Now watch Michael Johnson come in from the backside. These defensive ends are getting up the field. They're closing in on the pocket quickly on RG3, gets it off to Hankerson, and gets the first down. You've got to be exasperated. You're the Bengals on the back end. And now Dunlap and Johnson, who continue to get pressure on the quarterback, can't get there fast enough.
Lou back there with Robert Griffin III from the 11, first and 10. Malou, Malaluga, one broken tackle after another. Reggie Nelson slowed him down. Luga's having a hard time. It is close to a first down. He lost his shoe. The clock continues to tick. There are no timeouts.
There are no timeouts.
Oh, no, he's signaling for a timeout. There are none. It's second down and 1, and Griffin will take it across and score with 3:35 to play.
How about Roy Halou doing the smart thing, getting off the field? No way you can play without the shoe. He was calling a timeout. Instead, I think the Bengals anticipated that RG3 was going to spike the ball to try to stop the clock. He takes it in for a touchdown. We're not even at the 2-minute mark yet.
So Griffin with a 2-yard touchdown run. Here's the extra point by Billy Cundiff. 3.5 to play. And a lot of football left. 7-point game. That's the thing about the NFL, huh? You can never shut the door.
And how about RG3? We talked about him putting his signature on this game. He did it, I think, on that drive. They had 12 plays on the 80-yard drive, and they only ran it twice. He dropped back and passed the ball on 10 plays to get his team down the field and into the end zone.
Redskins have not won at home in a while. Week 2, in fact, against Arizona last year. Down by 8 with 5 minutes left. Rex Grossman connected with Santana Moss to cut the deficit to 2. Gano's 34-yard field goal just under 2 minutes left gave the Redskins the lead. Ensuing possession, Chancey Stuckey fumbled. Redskins recovered, held on for the 22-21 win. They have lost since that time 6 consecutive games here in FedEx Field.
However, they've won 3 consecutive home openers.
Yes, they have.
So, they've got some karma going for them now. I'm sure Mike Shanahan wanted to break that 6-game losing streak here at FedEx Field. They've been able to win in the home opener. Boy, would they like to have one here today. And RG3 doing everything he can to keep them in it. But Andy Dalton's going to get the ball back here. Now, if you're Shanahan, do you go ahead and kick it deep? I think you do. I think you got to allow your defense to get a stop. But this secondary has not shown that they can stop these wide receivers for the Bengals. I would be tempted to go onside kick here and try to get the ball back quick and in a hurry.
So that's what Cundiff is going to do. The Bengals running up as if not even ready for it. And now they come to the 45 and a timeout was taken. Yeah, it was as if they didn't even know that that might be a possibility.
Got to know that.
I mean, they were back in deep formation.
If I'm Shanahan, based on what I'm seeing from my secondary, they can't cover the Bengals wide receivers, Kevin, and they can't match up man-to-man across the board. So you've got to go onside kick to try to get the ball back from your offense. And look how they're all set up. They're acting like, oh, they're going to kick it deep. So they see a little shift over, and now they start to run up. There was a slight shift over. You can see all these Redskins players, over to that side. But they should have been alert a lot sooner, had to burn a timeout.
The special teams coach is Danny Smith, who looks like he's going to have the onside kick, and he'll have a final word along with Shanahan to his group. Danny's been under fire. They just extended his contract, but they've had a couple of block punts in the first 2 weeks of the regular season, not today, and they had 5 blocked field goal attempts a year ago. So people were handing out some pretty big doses of criticism toward the Skin special teams.
Boy, when you get punts blocked, boy, that's a way of having your job be in jeopardy, and they've had one blocked, as you mentioned, in each of their first 2 games so far this year.
Cundiff, and you can see he's tried onside kicks in his career 6 times, and he's about 50%. 8th-year player out of Drake, a little school in Des Moines, Iowa. Here we go. With the onside try, we assume. And caught! Redskins had it, and then they lost the ball, and then the man scramble. Redskins think they've got the ball.
And even if they have it, I don't think this ball went 10 yards beyond the point of where they kicked it.
A penalty flag was thrown, far side 44.
Remember, Kevin,
I don't know why the clock is continuing to run.
Well, they need to stop the clock, but this ball has to make it to the 45-yard line before Redskin can touch the ball. And the ball had not gone 10 yards before I think it was touched. They're going to huddle. They're going to have a meeting. They're going to talk about it. and weigh all the permutations, including where the clock should be set.
Lorenzo Alexander, number 97, the two-time reigning Redskins Special Team Player of the Year, is the one that vacuumed in the ball. And let's see, as our officials, and this is one of the first really sticky moments of the game for them.
We have an illegal touching on the kicking team. The ball will be spotted at the 44-yard line. First down for Cincinnati.
Yeah, this ball wasn't kicked far enough. Okay, it has to get right at the 45, which is here. There you can see ball coming in the air right there.
Wow,
he touched
it's close.
it just ever so before it gets to that 45-yard line.
And Solomon, here's the other thing. He can't challenge. He's out of timeouts.
No, can't challenge it, and nor should he. I think there's clear visual evidence that that ball was touched. Our camera's right there on the 45-yard line, and he touched it at the 44, which is where they spotted the ball.
That was Niles Paul who got the ball, number 84. He is a converted wide receiver, now playing tight end for the Skins. Paul out of Nebraska. Here we go from the 44 of Washington. First and 10 for Ben Jarvis. Green Ellis, who from behind is brought down by Medea Williams. A gain of 4 to the 40 to New York, and James Brown.
Alex Smith helping the Vikings call.
He's on 249 pass attempts before this interception right here without an interception. Last one was week 12 of last year. And the question about San Francisco, can they come from behind? They're still there. Minnesota going to pull off the big victory today, leading 24-13 over San Francisco.
Vikings still playing pretty flawless ball. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
And guys, here's how good Alex Smith has been. That's the first interception he has thrown since Thanksgiving of last year. Second down at about 6. Green Ellis flying his way for a couple yards and hit by the masses right there. Looked like Dijon Gomes got a stick on him at about the 38.
Kevin, I want to go back. I still agree with the decision of Mike Shanahan to attempt the onside kick. You've got to try to steal a possession away from Marvin Lewis, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals offense, who has been unstoppable on their last few possessions. You get them in 3rd and 8 in a situation like this. Now your defense has to come away with a stop.
3rd down and 4. Green Ellis bowling, leading the way, and down to the 35 on a gain of 3, about a yard shy of a first down. We've reached the 2-minute warning, 1:57 to play. Redskins out of timeouts. Bengals 4th and 1 when we come back. We're at the 2-minute warning, 1:57 to play. 4th and 2 for the Bengals at the Redskin 36-yard line.
This would be a 54-yard field goal for Mike Nugent. That's his career long, but he hasn't attempted a 50-yard field goal since 2010. So they decide they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Extra lineman, 74. Dennis Rowland is in. 4th and 2. Play clock at 5.
They're going to call a timeout. So you have to call the timeout because you don't want to take the loss of yardage with the penalty. They wanted to see if they can draw them offside. So maybe now they're going to allow Mike Nugent to attempt the 54-yard field goal. But what you could not do is allow the clock to run out and take the penalty there, Kevin, and then lose yardage.
They're going to punt. Huber is on the field.
Okay.
And they're going to punt. Banks will be back, and RG3 is getting loosened up on the sideline. And the time he's got left, 1:57 right now.
So they are going to take the penalty. So
they didn't call a timeout. They took a delay of game instead. So the timeout remains for the Bengals.
I did see some of the Bengals players signaling for a timeout.
Huber. Down at the 1. Nice play. They get him right there. Hawkins was the one to have the ball shoot up against him. He's down at about the 2, a 39-yard. Well played. It couldn't have been much better for Huber. Now that's where Robert Griffin III will be marooned at his 2. 1st and 10, no timeouts, 1:47 to play.
Now, if you're the Washington Redskins, what are some of the things that the Bengals defense has struggled with here in the second half? When you've had success moving the ball, it's been with the triple option. It's been getting the ball in the passing game down the middle of the field to the tight end, Fred Davis. And then maybe some misdirection stuff, getting the ball on the edges to Leonard Hankerson. You've got a few things that you could do with RG3 against this defense in this situation.
Lester's been injured, so Halou is in there. 1st and 10. Underneath. And this is the wide receiver, Josh Morgan. Former 49er, a gain of 11, a catch and run. He's up to the 13.
Now, the one thing where you do have to be careful is RG3 standing behind center in the pocket, not changing his launch point, because Michael Johnson and Carlos Dunlap, these defensive ends, have been very close to getting in from the blind side.
1st and 10. Blocked by Black. Underneath they go. Hankerson hits the deck at about the 25. Malaluga brings him down. That's a catch of 12 yards. Hankerson down, as you can see. Clock continues to tick.
Oh, he folded him up on this hit.
You're going to have to take a 10-second runoff. The Redskins, out of timeouts, were inside 2. So they're going to have to run off 10 seconds.
And Malaluga puts the hit on Hankerson. Look at it. He tries to get down. He doesn't get down fast enough. Right there. Wow. There's no way that can feel good. You hope he's going to be okay. But if you're going to get down, you got to get down and protect yourself simultaneously. Remember, Pierre Garçon already out for the last 2 weeks with a foot injury. Leonard Hankerson was starting for him at the wide receiver position, and he would be a big loss on this possession as the Washington Redskins are trying to drive to tie this game up at 38 apiece.
Let's see if this crew runs off the 10 seconds, because if I'm Marvin Lewis, I'm out there screaming at the top of my lungs. There's no timeouts. Injury timeout right here because Hankerson is down. They got to run off the 10 seconds, which they have not done. Let's go down to our official here and see. There we go.
There's a 10-second runoff. Please reset the clock to 57 seconds.
They're not able to get a timeout by the virtue of a player going down, so that's why you get the 10-second runoff with Hankerson injured on the play.
So we're at the 25. You see 107 is on our clock. It needs to be down to 57 seconds. The clock here in the stadium is also at 107. It's inside 2 minutes. Why wouldn't there be?
Marvin's asking for it.
1st down and 10. Griffin on the move, chased by Atkins. Out of bounds. Oh, a late hit. Oh, a bad play by Newman.
Can't do it.
It was a 10-yard run. Newman's going to get flagged, and more yards will go against the Bengal D. What a horrible play.
Oh, Marvin Lewis knows it. I know there's a temptation. Quarterback is out in the middle of the field. He's halfway on the field. You want to hit him, but you can't do it. He lunges at the quarterback, and he lunges at the head.
1st down.
Right there. Clearly out of bounds, and he goes for the head.
Look at this now. 50-yard line. It's the second boneheaded play that Newman's made today. On the 50, 1st and 10. And Halou at the side of Griffin. Blitz is on. Vincent Ray.
Get out of bounds!
And they come to the near side. This is Aldrick Robinson. Pickup of 12. The ball is down to the 38.
Well, Robinson wasn't able to get out of bounds, Kevin. He could have gotten out and stopped the clock.
You've just been told they were allowed the 4th timeout because of an injury. Here is a 1st and 10. Griffin on the move. He gets away from Gathers. He's down the sideline and out of bounds at about the 20. It's an 18-yard run.
Huge mistake by Gathers. You've got to keep Griffin in the pocket. Watch 91. He's looping and stunting out. He's got to get up here, but he doesn't get out fast enough. And then Griffin gets outside, down the sideline, picks up the first down for a huge gain on the play.
1st and 10 with the Redskins at the 19-yard line of Cincinnati. Here they come. He gets away from Dunlap. And then the rush comes on. 6th set authored by the Bengals. They go back to the 34. Clock is, you can see, ticking down. Losing 15. They'll spike it. It was 2nd down and 25. The spike now makes it 3rd and 25.
Huge play by Carlos Dunlap.
I should say.
Watch how he gets up the field. He stays upfield. He knows that's where RG3 wants to go. And then look at that. Has him in trap, tripped him up. The ball does come loose, and Robert Griffin III is able to get back on it. But the play made by Dunlap is incredible. It's what really Robert Gathers should have done on the previous play. And now they may just have to take a shot at the end zone with 7 seconds to go.
3rd and 25. They blow that dead in mid-motion. That's it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Offensive penalty. That's
Number
it.
83 on the offense. Please reset the clock to 7 seconds.
Oh,
That's not right.
well, they're saying that the clock never started. Maybe officials just throw another flag. They're saying
Should this be the runoff?
it's definitely should be a runoff.
We have a false start. Number 83 on the offense. There is no 10-second runoff.
Okay.
The game clock was stopped. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Also on the offense.
So because the clock wasn't running they're calling it a dead ball foul. And so they're saying it should not be a runoff.
So 3rd and about 30.
But they're going to move it back because the unsportsmanlike foul.
So they go back to the 41.
Oh, that really hurts.
7 seconds remain.
They didn't tell us who the penalty was on.
He walked off a 5-yard, and then he walked off the 15 on top of that.
But they didn't tell us who the penalty was on. I'm sure it's what Mike Shanahan wanted to know.
Well, let's see here, 3rd and 45. And he throws into a thicket. And that is the game. A player is down for the Bengals at the 13. Andy Dalton.